All right, you guys. So today I'm just waiting for one of my business partners to show up. Today we are going to go through one of the many reasons that you might feel like you are failing. And the reason why this came up is this is my business partner, James, one of them. And if you don't know, Kathryn and I are not the only ones that run this company. And James and I have many discussions about how we can actually move you guys forward. And I forgot to go live on TikTok. Apologies. And so there are so many things that we hear on a day-to-day basis. James, wouldn't you agree that people
Yeah.
say, I can't succeed? Like the biggest thing, the biggest, and the guys, whether you're talking about your marriage, whether you're talking about your health and fitness, the amount of money you make starting a business, the parenting that you have, we have come up with we just did this master list of things, and it all started with somebody saying to me, which Kathryn and I hear all the time, I've already tried everything,
Mhm.
and it just drives us fucking nuts because if you understand why we were broke and now make millions, if you understand why our marriage was the depths of hell and where we're at right now with what we teach, if you understand that, hey, fuck, I even had a dad bod when I went through COVID. I owned a gym for 20 years and I had a dad bod during COVID, trying to work 22 hours a day to get my shit done, to get my life back on track. I am responsible for my choices. And so I did not try everything because, James, we talked about this earlier today. We said, if somebody else has it, then you can have it.
Yep.
I want you to understand. You agree, James?
I do. I do. And take that a step further, you can't give what you don't have.
Yes. Yeah. So
Yep.
what we wanted to do here today is we're going to do this for like 2 hours, man. We're just going to go for it, man. We want to make sure, if you don't know, we have an app where you can achieve everything you want. There's a free men's community, a free women's community. There's trainings all towards a relationship. And my wife, for the women who are struggling financially abused, let's say, my wife has how to make money in her program. We do that with men in our program as well. There's so many entrepreneurs. We love it. We do health and fitness because we've owned a gym for 22 years, and we lost it during COVID, but we give everything there. And so we want to take a couple hours today out of our day and just give to you guys, anybody who wants to know that you are the reason your life, the life that you don't like, the life that you bitch, you cry about. I have a reel going mega viral on a couple platforms with that right now. That life that you hate is your
Mm.
life, the life that you choose to create. And we want to break down some of these limiting beliefs so that you can go to download our app, go.morrowmarriage.com, my last name, go.morrowmarriage.com, and join in and start to see that anything is possible. Anything. James, anything you want to add before we get started?
No, let's go. I
Okay.
think we're good.
Really quick before we get started, I just want to, in case a bunch of you guys are joining right now, James is one of a couple business partners that Kathryn and I have who success in our program and really, really wanted to get involved. I mean, you changed your whole life to do this, and
Yep.
you would have had to overcome a lot of the things that we're going to talk about today. Would you agree?
Absolutely. As did
Yeah,
you to get where you are.
exactly.
We
And
were
this
doing
is what,
this list. We were doing
yes,
this list and we were laughing because we've been almost every one of these.
almost every one of them.
Almost
Yeah.
every. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're just tuning in, reasons why you fail, we want to flip that to reasons why you succeed. And we're gonna kind of categorize it like this. You do what you gotta do. Again, the life that you don't like, the life that you complain to somebody about, the life that you're fighting with your spouse over, the stress that you have with the finances. I just want to prove you wrong. You can create anything that you want. Okay. So James, let's start. Guys, and James, this is random, right? We have like a bunch of categories, I think six, but it's random. Is that
Right.
right?
Yeah, it's sort of random. We tried to put them in a category, but they all ended up being, I don't know, what do you got? 60 or 62 of them now, 61?
Yeah. So, and guys, what we'll do is we'll have our assistant timestamp this. If you go to go.moralmarriage.com, join the community, get the free app, and then you'll be able to see timestamps. So if there's something that stands out for you today, I want you to know you'll be able to get the recording. You'll be able to go listen to it over and over. Snip the section, screen record that section if you need it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
James, let's go. Let's
All
do it.
right.
Do what you got to
These,
do.
these are excuses that we have had over the last few months to a year of people who said why they could not succeed or why they could not fix or why they could not do whatnot and
That,
change. And so the
that's right.
first one is like men who succeed. They're successful. They're doing this. They're doing that. They've got everything going for them. Um, So why do they even need it? I'm successful. That's what they say, right?
All right. Sorry. I realized TikTok. I apologize. I put my speaker on my head and you weren't hearing my partner talk. I am a bad man. All right.
Ah,
Give it to me again. Say it
all
again.
right. I said so. The first one that we talked about are the guys that come in and say, you know what, I'm already successful. I can fix this. I got this. Men who succeed. You know that.
Yep. Well, if you are successful and you have what you want, you know, do what you got to do to have the rest of the success. I think that far too many people, they look at what they're good at and they focus on what they can. So let's say you're successful with business, okay? And you're actually just a roommate with your partner, your wife, right? Like,
Yeah,
well, then are you successful? Stop lying to yourself. Do what you got to do. What do you need to improve at home so that you can have success in all areas of your life,
that's right. That's right.
right?
And then ask that question too. I mean, most everybody who says that, you say, well, what do you really need in your life? And they'll give you this laundry list of stuff they wish was different. So they're not successful in that area if they're not where they need to be and want to be.
So do what you got to do. Focus on what you can't, not what you can. If you actually want to be successful and have the whole picture, look at the whole high level overview. Write it down if you have
Yeah.
to. I don't care.
Yeah.
Work backwards and take the time to do it. Do you need to sleep less? Do you need to learn how to communicate and stop stringing words together? Do you need to go to the gym and have more energy to play with your kids? I don't care. We'll talk about a lot of these things as we
Yeah.
go. The
That's
first thing
right.
you need to understand is if you're not successful, because there's things that are missing in your life, just own it. Do
Yeah.
what you got to do. Own it. I
That's
don't
right.
have what I want.
Yeah. And everything goes together too. That's why you talked about having energy to play with your kids. I remember that one of the dark moments for me, not only was I emotionally not right, it affected my health, which affected my mind, which affected my health. And I didn't have the energy to do anything. So how in the heck am I supposed to be a dad and a husband and a leader if I can't even get up off the couch? You know?
100%.
Yep. And so a lot of folk, a lot of guys, another one that the CCAS is that, guys say, well, I just don't know where to get started. I just don't know how to get started. And what's your answer to that? You've got a real quick answer to that. What is it?
Just fucking get started. What are you talking about? Well, because you're going to start to feed in all kinds of other examples if you don't know how to get started, right? Well, I don't know technology, Cass, so I'm not really going to use. You're on fucking social media right now. You know how to use an app. Just
That's right.
fucking go
Right.
through, scroll through, figure out what each thing does, write
Right.
it down if you have to, and just get started.
Get
Now,
started.
some of you guys, maybe you don't. Fuck, this guy's annoying. I'm just going to learn on my own. Just get started. Put down Netflix. Fucking pick up YouTube. Search it for what you want to be successful. Whatever it is that you're missing, just put your fucking phone down with the thing that's bothering you and go somewhere else if
That's right.
social media bothers you. Like
That's right.
you just choose. You choose.
You choose. It is. It's about I mean, where we are right now is really a summation of everything we've ever chosen to do. And so we can take
100%.
100% responsibility for every piece of it, or we can be the victim and cry and listen. And I'm not invalidating emotions. I'm just saying when you've had enough and you want to change, you just got to get started.
Well,
And
this
you've
is
got to
where I'm
start.
coming from. When I talk about it, I'm like, the life that you're upset about, we're not going to invalidate your emotions. But if
Mhm.
you don't like it, you need to do something different. You
That's
can't
right.
blame your spouse. You can't blame your children. I didn't want this many kids. You can't blame your boss. You can't blame your trainer. You
No.
know, you are responsible for your
That's
choices.
right. That's right. Yeah, I did a reel like that last year where my gate was messed up. And I'm thinking I got a whole garage full of tools and the latch was still broken on it. So I walked up there, I said, look at this gate. Look at this latch. I said, where are these tools? And I walked into the garage. I said, look at these lazy tools. All these tools and they ain't fixed nothing all day long. No, I got to pick them up and use them. And I
You
have to
do.
know
You do.
how.
Almost
Yeah.
always it starts with a choice, guys. It just does.
That's right. All right. Some of these guys say, I just hadn't got my business started yet because it's sometimes in the finance or the success. And this is what we call the success and action category. Or,
Mhm.
I haven't got my business started yet. So I can't work on this right now because I got to get this done.
Yeah, this blows my mind because I mean I had a guy yesterday on a phone call. He's thinking about joining the program. He's dead. He joined the community. I think I saw, and you know what he said? He said I I left my wife. I left my kid because I needed. It took longer than I wanted, mind you, but I needed to build my business so I could provide for them. Okay, so the first thing you have to understand is if you were trying to make a choice about your life,
Wow.
what are your fucking values for God's? Geez, like you don't care about your family because you left them so you could make money. You cared about
Right.
yourself.
That's
So
right.
in this, do what you got to do. You got to actually take a deep reflection and stop defending yourself and justifying. Because now you got to get to work. And we talked about safety and trust and all these kinds of things. But most of you guys that are trying to start something and you don't know how, you don't know what to do, you don't know how to find money to get started. I mean, what are we spending money on?
Yeah.
Almost everybody's wasting money every single week. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, everybody. How much does your Starbucks coffee cost?
$7. That's
How,
how Maddie just had that conversation with us, a little mini conversation.
yeah, 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 yeah.
$7.
Or
But yet
how
we've
many
got
services
solutions
are
that
you
are a dollar.
subscribed to? Maybe you don't have TV, but you're watching Netflix, Crave, Hulu, Disney, Prime. How many services do you need, man?
Look
Right?
at the
And first of
time.
all, what's that?
Look at the time in that.
And I was just going to say,
Yeah.
first of all, how much time? Right? You
Yeah.
can't start a business because you don't know how. That's one thing that comes up, right?
Yeah.
Well, when are you spending the time to figure that out? Here, let me give you a little life hack. What you're going to do is when you want to do something, so this is the time you're going to put your business together, put it
Mhm.
in your calendar. Now, you might not know where to start, but that's where you'd actually fucking YouTube or get in our community and ask a
Right.
question, or you do something to figure it out. Workout's the same thing. Oh, I'm going
Yeah.
to work out every day, but I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, put in your calendar every day you're going to work out. During that time, until you're working out, you're Googling, you're researching, you're asking questions, you're joining our app and looking at the workouts. I don't care. You're doing something to move towards it. It's not that you don't know how, it's that you're not trying.
Right. I
Right?
mean, Cass, I have a question for you, just on
Yeah,
personal note. Where did you go to mechanic school?
I did not. I went to
How
YouTube.
about body shop school? Did you go to
Yeah,
body shop school?
YouTube. YouTube.
YouTube. Yeah, me
Yeah,
either. I don't. I mean, I've done. I restored this entire century home. How do we learn? We want to do it. We figure it out.
100%. And it is that simple. You know, one of the things that comes up a lot with the women that work with Kathryn, I mean, there's a lot of financial abuse out there, especially from
Mhm.
the
Oh
kinds of
yeah.
relationships that are attracted to our story, you know? And if you don't know, I was a lot like that with Kathryn, not necessarily holding money back, but I would use it against her when I was
Mm.
fucking done, you know. And if you don't know my story, like I threw Kathryn out of the house one night and down, this is down like 3 or 4 steps, I don't recall. And I remember throwing an empty suitcase on her saying, good luck buying shit to fill that. Like that's
Mm.
financial abuse. Okay.
Right.
Now we get a lot of women, and we did a podcast recently on this where I talked, and you know, I'm really good at trashing men, but you know, the further that Kathryn and I go, I'm being Kathryn's voice for women too, right? Because she
Yeah.
doesn't do the social media, James. And
Right.
you know, like the amount of women that are stuck financially, it blows my mind because you can do these same lessons. You know, you can start your own business. There's lots of women that are making 100 grand a year on Etsy or Amazon
Yeah.
because they went to YouTube and they watched a video. They didn't say I don't have time. They didn't say I couldn't do it. I have kids. They just decided to do it. And we're going to talk about a lot of ways to do that as we go through today. It'll come up.
Yeah, it's interesting though. We also probably should make the point to say that though these things are they are, and some of these guys are going, well, I'm not like that. I give my wife an allowance. Just listen to what you just said.
Yeah, what the
I
fuck
mean,
is that?
what is
Allowance?
that? I
What
mean,
is
well,
that?
she spends too much. Listen, I've never met a man who was frustrated about economics who didn't blow money on what he wanted and justified that it was actually a good purchase while his wife's trying to buy groceries and he's upset because the milk just went up.
100%.
you know.
100%.
Anyway.
And quite often, if you have, here's the thing, guys. You know, I'm a relationship guy. Like, if you understand how relationships work and the dynamics work between giving and loving and
Right.
actually having a strong relationship, nobody gives a fuck, man. You think Catherine spent 20 grand today on a new course or something? I'm not gonna. I'm like, all right, cool. You know what I mean? And it's not because I believe in
Yeah.
growth. It's because I don't give a fuck. Like, if you're connected, you don't care about shit like that. This is why you guys care about toilet paper rolls and shit. You know what I mean? Toothpaste lids. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. All right, another one on the business, and then we'll move to finances. It sounds like we've been on finance as a career too, but we're going to get really digging into that. And remember, guys, what we're talking about are excuses that we've gotten over the last few months from men who they come and they say, "I'm desperate. Help, help, help! Please
Let's
help."
let's talk
And we
let's
say,
talk about that.
"Yeah,
Let's talk about that real quick. You know, the reason this came up, guys, is because we had about an hour and a half discussion on our app, go.morrowmarriage.com. You can join for free. You jump in on this stuff. And we had an hour and a half discussion where we invited men in, and this is just the men's side, but women, there's women's stuff. But you know, and we wanted to address how we really are working to change the world. See, if you know me, I'm not charging money to save your marriage. What we are doing is disrupting divorce. We're creating men that are impacting, and now women are doing this too, impacting true change in the world. Okay,
right,
it's not just about them and their marriage. And what happens is, I mean, let's say we get, I'm just going to say maybe 100 applications a week, you know,
Yeah.
but 99% come in and you're stuck financially. You are in such emotional turmoil that I can see why all these other areas of your life are failing. We get text messages and DMs on the website and on social media that are all, please help, or can you fix my marriage? I mean, and that's it.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing this. This is why you're failing. You're not even attempting to grow, to try
Right.
to get help. You know, some people apologize. I hope I'm not too vulnerable here. You know, it's not too personal here. That's better because at least you're trying. You know what I'm saying? Okay, sorry, go.
All right. Oh, yeah. So this one is the last one in this category. We've had some guys who are just really busy. And I mean, like you and I've always been entrepreneurial. And at that one time I had like 5 or 6 different income streams, different businesses going. But we hear that I got too many businesses. I don't have time. I'm successful, but I really have to, look at what I'm doing. It's more the I'm too busy and I'm too successful.
I think that this is the dumbest shit on the planet. If you don't have what you want in life, how are you too busy? You think
Yeah.
you have less time in a day than the rest of the world?
168
I,
hours a week. That's all
I'm
we
pretty
get.
sure we all have the same fucking clock, man.
Yep.
You know what
Same
I mean?
clock.
And we just heard this on one of our coaching calls. I heard that guy. I don't know if you caught it. And he's like, I mean, I work a 10-hour day. It's so long. Like, shut the fuck up, 10-hour day. You know how much work we did over Christmas to build a brand new app? We paid
15, 18
20
hours at
grand
least. Yeah.
extra to have somebody else build it for us, and
Yeah.
we did the work ourselves
Yeah.
over the holidays. And did your family miss your family? Or sorry, did your family miss you,
A
or do
little
they
bit.
still get you?
They got me.
My family got me too.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It didn't miss a beat, man. They didn't miss a beat.
This is the thing. You do what you need to do, you guys. If you want more, you must allocate your time more. How much
Right.
time did you? I bet you found time for your favorite fucking TV show.
Oh yeah.
Like, come
That's
on.
a ball game.
Yeah, that sporting event that
Yeah.
fucking went
Yeah.
wild.
I
You know,
deserve that now. I got a bunch of businesses. I deserve that.
oh, hold on. That reminds me of when Maddie was in town and um, we were talking about the Mike Tyson and can't remember the kid's name
Oh
that fought
yeah.
him. Remember?
Logan, something Paul.
How many of you plan for shit like that, but you can't plan day to day to move your life where you want it?
Right.
Right? Like, it's crazy to me how some of you know more statistics from your favorite fucking sporting event or soap opera or whatever the reality show is, but you don't act, or celebrity, but you don't actually know about what it is that you want.
Right.
Like, what the fuck? How are you devaluing your life? Never mind your partner. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
You know?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Mm. All right. So that's sort of that. Now we get into the section we call career and finances, which seems to be the same, but here's the excuses from this guy. Well, I'm broke. I can't afford to pay anybody to help me. So I need help for free. Now I got a quick answer to this that I asked guys. I said, well, if you broke your arm today and went to the hospital, are they going to bill you? Yeah. Well, they're helping you too, right? Yeah. I mean, I know that I've had family members, some who have perished because of crisis, helicopter flights and stuff. You know what? They still billed them, even though they died, $300,000 for the bill, and they helped
100%.
them.
100%.
Nothing's free.
I think
Nothing's
before we
free.
even dive into this one, guys, some of you got to just check your reality for a second.
Are you
Okay.
broke?
Like, pardon me?
Are you really broke?
Well, are you really broke? Number one, because it's probably where you spend your money.
Mm,
Two, you have to find money. Like this example with the hospital, you have
yeah,
to find money if you want to go to the hospital. You
right.
fucking do.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, I'll give you another one. Oh, man, I don't know, Cass. Like, I really want to do your course. I'm just going to do, I mean, thank you. You give so much free shit. So I'm going to do all that right now. But then you call when you have to spend 15 fucking grand first payment to the lawyer. Like,
Yes.
what in the actual fuck? You
Which
know?
half of that would have got you 90 good days of great coaching and support.
Not even half. Like, it's,
Yeah.
you guys are asking the wrong questions of yourself. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So if you're broke, there's a couple things to look at right here. Number one, you are just not trying. You have to do what you need to do. Do you need to sleep less? Do you need to learn more? Probably that's a big one. Okay. Do you need to prioritize your time differently? Your time, attention, excuse me, is the most valuable asset you have.
Yep.
Let me give you an example, guys. I went broke during COVID. Okay. I owned a 7-figure brick and mortar gym. Okay. Made $1 million that year. I lost my gym. I lost my house. I lost my muscle cars. I lost all my shit. We downsized. Okay. I was broke. Okay. Now, most people took the government checks. Now, what I did was I worked 22 hours a day. Now, I don't say that like all 22. I spent a lot of time trying to blend in with the family, mix the family up, do our stuff with Catherine. But she was working to build her stuff online, and I was working to sleep an hour in the afternoon, an hour in the morning. You think I like that? People would say, "Why don't you go get a job at Home Depot?" And I was
Mm,
like, "How the fuck is that going to change my life?"
right.
Right? You do what you got to do, you guys. If you're broke, you're responsible for your choices. You really are. If you
Yeah.
can't afford tires, wheels, and brakes in one shot, you're probably fucked for a lot more reasons, like going to the hospital. Like honestly, you know.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Here's one we got most recently. I don't like my job. I just I can't. And this was not I can't get started. This conversation was I just can't stick with the plan. I'm just so down. I don't like my job. So it's sort of like if I could get a better job, then I could fix my marriage. But you
Well,
don't like your job because you don't like you.
listen, money, exactly, James. You don't like you.
You
The
don't like
job is
you.
not the problem. If you don't like your job, even in the reset, I teach it. Now's the time to change, right?
Yeah,
Because you're changing everything anyway, right? But if you don't
right.
like your job, then you're going to be unhappy. If you're unhappy, your job is not your purpose, is not your identity. It doesn't define you. So whether you like your job or not, it's your emotional control that you need to work on there, regardless.
Right.
Okay, because what defines you is beyond your job, your spouse, and your children. That's what most people want. See, all of you are coming to us because the work that we do is save marriages. But if you understand what we truly do, we create brand new men, we create brand new women that make an impact because they know who they are, their identity, and what they're doing in this life, what
Yeah.
they're leaving behind for their children, and the byproduct is saving your marriage. Now, in there, think about it the same way we just talked about it. The byproduct might be you get a new job or you get a new career. Maybe you learn to make money the way we show you, you know?
Yeah.
But like, if you understand that the byproduct is the good shit, the happy emotions, you still need to learn how to control your emotions. If you don't like your job, make a change. Don't complain. You made your choices. It's not the economy. It's not the fucking government. It's not
Yeah.
COVID. Okay,
Yeah.
it's you. It's
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, that's really the root of every excuse is like a good brother today talking with them about their circumstances and everything is still someone else's fault. Well, I hurt myself and I did that. Listen, I know what it's like. I broke my foot, then I got sick, then I got an infection, then I got all this and blah 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 and I was victim 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 and you can be victor or victim. What is it going to be?
Victims be fucking victiming. The
Yeah,
world.
they become the
Oh,
victimizer.
I just want to. I know that
I
some
think
shit is
Catherine
so
said
hard.
that, did she?
Catherine said it on a podcast, and
I
it
thought
keeps
so.
it's sticking.
Victim
It's
to
going
victim.
everywhere now. Yeah,
Oh, that's funny.
but you know, oh Dixie, hey, how are you? She used to live she lives in the town I used to live in. Catherine's buddy. Listen, victims be victiming. Okay, like if you understand that you're responsible for your choices,
Hey.
the world is always going
Mhm.
to come at you with shit. And I mean, I know you know I'm a narcissist, and you know that means I don't have empathy. I have to actually work really hard at this. Okay, but the amount of times James, you see me on coaching calls, guys, but then my dad died, and like I don't know what to do. My friend, like, my
Right.
job, and like I'm just like, listen, you're either a person who can handle stress, or you're a person who cannot. You think you're the only one with I'm not. This isn't my narcissist talking here. If you think you're the only person who's lost someone,
Mhm.
you're fucked. You're the most selfish person on the planet.
Yeah.
There's only one thing you can do, that is honor that person, respect that you did what you could in that relationship,
Yeah.
move past any guilt that you have from what you left behind because you lost opportunity, and then create the best motherfucking life on the planet that would
Yeah.
honor them even more by honoring yourself.
Yeah.
Because you think they're looking down on you? Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? It's not that
Mm.
I don't have empathy. It's that it's not a reason you should think about it. What's this? What the fucking guy that we had that was turned out to be a real douche? Matt. I won't say his last name. The fucker hurt his knee,
Right.
right?
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, like it's terrible. Like I'm just doing what I can at home. I'm trying, but
Yeah.
like I need my wife to do this and this and this and this." Motherfucker, when I
And the way
was single and I had a dislocated shoulder, I had to take care of myself. Who's zipping up
yeah.
my fly, man? Nobody.
Yeah.
Okay? When I shattered my heel, I was single. Nobody's fucking doing shit for
Right.
me. Actually, it's not true. I had a couple friends grab me groceries and stuff, but I still had to load the fridge,
Right.
hopping around.
Yeah.
Like, if you're single, you'll figure it out fucking fast. It's like if you're broken, you need fucking hospital money,
Yeah.
you figure it out fast. Why don't you figure it out when you get when you're going for what you want?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we call that in our house weaponized incompetence. A lot of these guys, they don't want to do anything. They can't, but if it's for a fishing boat or it's an adult site or it's something they really want, they'll figure it out. If it's something else, they'll figure out what they want, but they will allow someone else to take up their slack and pretend like they don't know how.
That's
I
right.
really, it's crazy. So it's the same thing with I don't like my job. So we got a whole bunch of these, and this is a half hour, man. We might go 4 hours a day on this.
Look, it seems like it.
I'll combine a couple of them. This one is sort of similar. It says, I can't afford what I want. I don't know how to save money, and I owe too much debt.
All right. Well, you just have to start to look at this for what it is. All of that combines into one. Did you look at any budgeting courses yet?
Right.
Did you take the time? You don't know how to use a spreadsheet? Oh, I'm sorry. Did you YouTube how to make a spreadsheet? Google fucking Sheets is free. It's free.
Don't
You can
cost
get a I bet you, I've never done it. I bet you could Google budget, household budget for a template. I bet there's free fucking apps.
How do you Google?
Oh, you know what? There's this thing called what is it that the fucking thing? Oh, the World Wide Web. I think the World Wide Web. I think that's what it's called.
I only had
And
a computer in my pocket.
if only. If only.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't know how, first things first is you just have to fucking choose, guys.
Yeah.
Choose where you're spending your money.
Yeah.
I understand that it can be scary to spend money on growth. I'm sure you got some stories like this too. When we were going to lose everything with the gym, this is before COVID. This is when the business was just going down, and I was still in blame mode. Oh yeah, but Orange Theory moved in across the street, and CrossFit's really popular now. Excuse me, I can't compete. Even my Facebook ads. I mean, I don't know what to do. And I paid 120 grand for a coach. I borrowed money to do that. Why? Because I needed somebody's $2,000 down. And then I learned. I went through it as fast as possible, and I learned how to make money. Then Kathryn got on board. See, leaders, by the way, if you're not a leader, Kathryn was not on board. I just did this. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Kathryn saw how much money I made in 1 week or 1 day. Sorry, when it was all set up, she joined in, and we made 120 grand. We paid off the program. We made $1 million that year. You guys, if you don't know how to save, if you don't know how to work, it's because it's all the same thing. It's priorities to you. If you want to victimize yourself, it's not the fucking world. It's you.
It's not.
Okay.
There's nobody else. I mean, and you may be victim. That's the thing. I've been a victim. Have you been a victim? I've been a victim. But that victimization isn't me. It just happened to me. So why is it going to affect everything I do? But it 100%. Does. And then people come and they're like, well, we need help. And that's what we're doing here, guys. For those of you who are just popping in, these are excuses that we've gotten over the last few months from men who says, I just can't get started, or I don't think this is going to work for me. And this is why. One of them is like,
this is crazy.
Yeah.
And this is crazy. So if you don't know, we have this new app. It's our second app, but it's a new one. It's Morrow. It's all capitals, 2 R's facing each other like my logo. And it's go.morrowmarriage.com. And you can get in there. And we obviously, you're hearing we talk about business and money here. We do everything. We'll get to relationship stuff too here today. But what we're finding is there's so many people that have an excuse as to why they can't get started when you have zero idea how much we give away for free. I mean, unless you know about the podcast, the app, and you've been moving through it, and you started working out with our shit on our app, like I can't even believe how many people sit there. And it goes back to the very first thing we said. I've already tried everything.
Right.
And if you don't like something in your life, we're doing this today because, my God, you can change everything today. It's not dependent on your partner. We talked to a guy, business-wise, last week. What did he say? Well, I asked him a specific question. Why haven't you gone and got a coach for your business? Why haven't you asked this question? I can't. He said, I can't. My dad is my partner, and he's really old-fashioned or traditional. And I said, why do you fucking need your dad fucking get a coach for? Why don't you just fucking go on YouTube if you can't afford to coach yet? I don't know what your situation's like, but either way, you're waiting for your dad. You're victimizing yourself, and you're blaming your dad.
Yeah.
That's the dumbest shit on the planet. Now, all of you come because of the marriage. That's why we have to do this. All the areas in your life, it's not just your marriage. That's the problem.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, so I mean, it's the same thing. Robin would say to me, "Blah, this. Why are you this way? Why can't you just be kind? Why do you have to get upset? Well, these people are treating me bad, and this happened to me, and I broke my foot, and wham. I'm just going to be honest. It's just a little tiny man child. It's just a child in an adult body who can't take accountability and responsibility, and it's hard. You can't see it. That's it. I mean, here's another one. My wife spends too much money. How many times do we see that? My wife
My
spends
wife
too much.
spends so fuck on. I
Yeah.
can't even believe how many times we see
And we
that.
blame what? Everybody else.
Okay, if one of you, husband or wife, I don't care who, if one of you is spending too much money, then you haven't had a proper conversation.
Yeah.
You aren't connected enough to use a budget and get on the same page.
That's right.
You need to think about it.
Right.
It's not your partner who's spending too much money. It's not the allowance that James mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
literally you, right?
My
If you
wife
don't know
sees
how
me
to
on
budget,
Facebook.
then what's that?
No, keep going. Keep going.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
I can't stand. I just can't stand. If you guys know my story, I was the biggest victim of all, and because I didn't like hurting, I abused my wife emotionally, physically, and
Yeah.
sexually. And this happened, by the way. The last bit of blame I had in my life towards others was at Justin Trudeau, the government, for shutting down me during COVID with the gym.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was like 3 months of like fuck and working hard and fuck the government, and then I was like, man, I made $1 million last year. Like my house was, well, I owed $400,000 on it. So, oh fuck, I could have paid that off.
So whose
And then I
fault
went,
was it?
I can never blame anybody ever again.
That's
See,
right.
I stopped blaming Kathryn in my marriage long before, but during COVID, I was like supremely fucking still in that blame kick. And I
Yeah.
even went through a little phase of that, I guess, with meeting men, because I've probably spoken to 20,000 men. But what's happened is you start to learn all of these excuses that we're talking about is why men and women aren't moving forward
Yeah.
in all these areas of your life. It's just so common,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. And it's I think it's important to say right here, like with the idea of my wife treats me like an ATM, or she spends too much money. This is why I can't have anything. This is why I can't build anything, blah, blah, blah. All the while it's a double standard. And then the other side of that is they think they're fixing it by going, okay, woman, this is enough of this. And they think that's leadership. And that's just abuse. It's
Yeah, it
garbage. It's
is.
disgusting.
It is. You can't just go in and control. At the very
Yeah.
least, it's control, And I just don't understand it. I'm gonna get you guys to think differently. If you don't have enough money for whatever it is, how can I make more? Because I'm gonna tell you something. And I got my man Josh on here. Josh, by the way, I'm so proud of what I've heard about your transformation here in the last little bit. I'm so proud of you, buddy. But you know, we understand that no matter how much money we make, there's going to be another thing. Like if you know what we want to do with this business, it's not just about marriage. If you really get to know who we are, and I mean, we took everything we made in December against our CFO's word, and we just fucking invested in growth to fucking give back, to give
Yeah.
more. And could you imagine if we made even more money in December? Do you
Right.
think what we would have done in January? Probably still all be gone too. We would have done more. So
Yeah.
it's really all about if you don't have something, anything, what can I do to make that happen today? What today can change tomorrow? Because it's never going to be enough, right?
Yeah.
Those of you in a relationship that are like trying to get here, just baseline normal, climb out of a hole, man. I just want. So we get this because we ask questions like, "What would your dream marriage be like 12
Yeah.
months from now?"
Yeah.
I just like. Hopefully there'd be no fighting, and I just hope that we get along and we trust each other, and and yeah, intimacy would be good, and like, why the fuck are you striving for baseline normal? Kathryn
Yeah.
says it beautifully. With every level of safety we unlock, a new level of intimacy. And we get more and more connected, more and more connected, more and more connected. We keep rising and rising and rising. And this feeds into every area of our life. But what that is we each do something every day that works towards the life that we want,
Yeah. And
right?
that's true too. And most of the time we're walking away from what we want, thinking we're trying to get it.
Yeah, boundaries, fine, fuck you. But you know what? I agree
Yeah.
with you. Happy wife, or happy fawning, right?
Yeah.
Like
Morning.
you hide and you filter who you truly are. Like we were talking to guys today on the call, and he's like, he's afraid to hug, and his wife says, "I can't. You can't. You're not allowed to do it." Well, Catherine, this is her quote from yesterday, and I was talking to him yesterday and today. But Catherine said to him, "Well, unless you want a hugless marriage, then you better start fucking hugging."
Right.
Right? You do the things that you want. Believe it or
Right.
not, it's less about their love language because we all want the same bullshit. Which is not bullshit, by the way. Validation, love, respect, affirmations, kindness. Why don't you start giving what you want anyway?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't get into that. We'll start coaching here, but without an expectation of response.
Oh, correct,
Give.
correct. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give.
Yeah. Now tying this back to the money thing, of course you're not giving necessarily money to go make money, but you might,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
Have you sold all your shit? Have you bought something and invested in something that can move you forward? Maybe
Yeah.
that's a program, maybe that's a tool, right?
Right.
Like
That's right.
maybe that positions you in a place where you can meet somebody that can help you. Like
Yeah.
we spent, I don't even know, let's just say 15 grand. I don't even know. I don't remember. But on, we want to say thank you to people that have
Yeah. Oh yeah.
impacted our
That's right.
life,
Reaching
right?
out, just giving them a thank you gift for nothing in return.
For nothing in return. But we want to
Nothing.
thank them because they're part of our journey. Like Jordan Peterson for me was one of those people,
That's right.
right? And so the Gottmans were one for Kathryn. And, so we got this figured out where we could send a gift just to say thank you, right?
Yeah.
Now, those of you who don't know how to move your financial situation forward, well, this definitely might play into that. What if Jordan? I'd love to have him on my podcast.
Oh
I'd love
yeah.
to talk to
Be
Jordan
good.
Peterson.
Yeah.
Like, but you
Yep.
see, you got to be willing to try different things and do it with an intent of not to get something. Now, you could use your own time to do that for an intent to get something, like
Right.
don't watch
Yeah.
Netflix and go on
Yeah.
YouTube and learn.
That's right. That's
Go
right.
on our app, go.morrowmarriage.com. Go
There you go.
start learning. If somebody said earlier on TikTok, my husband never talks, like it just always blames me. Okay, that's a you problem. Go to the app and start learning. Don't say that on the here. Don't. I'm
Right.
not saying you can't say it, but the whole point of today, guys, is so that you learn that we don't have to wait for somebody or something to happen to get what you want.
Right. Every excuse is just
Right?
another just another dead day.
Every excuse is a delay to the future that you actually want.
That's right. And so you
That's
can
it.
have what is it like with working out? I mean, you're a fitness coach for years. You owned a gym for crying out loud. And every day that you say, well, next week I'm going to get serious about my fitness. You know what? You don't even have to be serious about your fitness. You can work out once a week and actually improve. You can work out for 2 weeks and skip a week and go 2 weeks again. And it's better than not getting started.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like a lot of people think about discipline like, um, well, what the gurus tell you, it's got to be the
This is
same
it.
thing every day. You got to
This
follow the
is
routine. I'm disciplined.
ah,
No, man, you
this
don't
is
live
not
in a,
boot camp.
yeah. And also, you don't live in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Life will get away. We talked about earlier about somebody dying. If somebody dies, you might not feel like going to the gym today. Now, probably that's a bad example because you probably should, right? Work some of that
That's right.
out. But my point is, you're not living in a vacuum. Life will happen. I use this example with my men. When you came to visit, James, or Maddie came to visit, we didn't go to the gym every day. We stayed up all fucking night and work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And we
Like
didn't
we're
feel guilty either. One morning, y'all came
no,
there. You're like, Tippett, you going to the gym? I'm like, get out. No.
yeah, exactly. But then we went to the gym when life got back to normal. Like
That's right. That's right.
discipline is getting on with what you need to do. That's
Yeah.
all it is. It doesn't
Picking
mean
it
it's
up.
today or tomorrow, but it must get done.
That's right. That's right.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we'll jump into the health and fitness excuses, man, and I'll
Mm.
give you a couple of these, and we'll chat over them. But I don't remember this particular excuse, but it's like, well, I'm overweight and I feel bad all the time. Now I've heard that one a good bit. I just don't feel good. I just don't
I just
feel
don't
good.
like I
Yeah,
don't feel good, so I can't work out.
can't work out, can't do anything. And this, as it relates to what we're doing, part of our program, we also talk about being the whole person. Holistic. We get your mind, we get your body, we got spiritual things for people who are Christians and believers. We have that aspect as well, and everything else. And fitness, especially moving your body and having energy. No wonder you can't make decisions. It
Yeah,
goes
like
hand in hand. So
okay,
if
but I own a gym for 20 years, guys, and I'm gonna tell you something right now. I actually don't like working out. I don't.
yeah.
A lot of my mentors, they love it. A lot of their businesses are even based around it.
Oh
I own
yeah,
a gym for 20 years. I don't fucking like working out. I mean, I like how I feel. The benefits, I understand what they're for, and so I do it.
yeah,
I like how I look, so there's a reason there.
right.
But it's not even that I don't like it. I mean, like I kind of like it. I
You
don't.
got other things you could do.
There's just other things I'd rather do with
Yeah,
my
I
fucking
mean, it's
time.
more. If I had
You
to
know,
pick 40 things, Jim would be like number 35.
honestly, because like I literally I figured something out recently. So this is great for you guys here today. Do what you got to do and looking at excuses because everybody thinks, well, I got to get up at 6 in the morning. Okay, well, if you think
Oh,
back to all those, or 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, go to the gym. Think back to all the things that we've been talking about today, right? All of those choices led you to a point where you probably can't do what I'm going to say right now. I realized recently, well, I'd rather get up 4, 5, or 6 in the morning, whatever it is, depending how late I work. Also, nighttime works for work as well for me when
Yeah.
Catherine and the kids are asleep because there's no fucking noise. Nobody's awake. Nobody's bothering. No, like, now you guys from fucking Australia are gonna start hitting me up hard now, aren't you? But like I can get so much done, right? So I go to the gym at 7:30 or 8. Today I made it at 8:06,
All
right?
right.
Right? Right. And I work out for an hour and 45 minutes. And most of you guys are like, I can't. I can't do that. My schedule doesn't allow it. Stop today. Is do what you got to fucking do to make the life happen that can happen for you. I go
That's
to the
right.
gym when there's nobody there and I can get so much more work done when everybody's sleeping. Like,
Yeah.
it's how you choose to organize your. Oh, I can't, Cass. I got this job. You're responsible. Fucking choices.
Yeah.
Get a
I
new
just,
career. Start
yeah.
doing something different. What are you extremely good at that you've
Right.
struggled with? Start there,
There you go.
right? And then you can start to teach it. And if you do that, you can make money off it. That's something that I would teach in my program. But like
Right.
my point is, it's not that you can't, it's that you're not aligning structure to get where you want to go. That's it.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. All right, let's look at some more of these things. This all goes down into the same health and fitness. I just love good taste in food. I'm injured. I can't work out. And this one, I cannot see my penis.
Can I see them? Okay, so I gotta explain this one because that doesn't sound like an excuse. I
It's
cannot
like,
cannot
what?
see my penis. Okay. So but people are when you guys are avoiding trying to make change happen, you have to understand the pain of the change, okay?
Mm,
It has to feel less than the pain of what you're going through,
yeah.
okay? And when you have somebody that says, I can't see my penis, that's painful. Let me tie this in, James, because this is where I remembered that when we were making this list was because um, Catherine was telling me about somebody who was messaging her, and she's like, but I love my husband, but I can't feel his penis. Now, this is a
Mm,
very large woman. And so Catherine, just respectfully asked, and is your husband also very large? And she said, yes. And so Catherine said, well, respectfully, you probably need to start working out more. If he's not interested in health, you got to eat better as well. Maybe lose the booze, the snacks, and
right.
start focusing on your health because it's probably not that his penis is small. It's that you guys are very large,
Yeah.
right? But you see, the pain has to be because she really wants to have sex with her husband. It's not like we get that every day, but she really wants to be intimate with her husband, and you can't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the pain, focus on the pain. What's more painful? Is eating right more painful than not being able to see your penis, feel his penis? No.
Yeah.
In fact, even though it's not your penis, it is, it's your husband. But like do what you got to do. You might not want to change your lifestyle, but if it's interfering with the energy with your kids, with your sex life, with the longevity, how many of you say I want to live a happy life with whether that's with your partner or alone? I don't even care right at this point. The point is I have all these goals, but you're going to die.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you? So why do you walk around life lying to yourself and lying to the world? Oh yeah, no, I can't. I have these dreams. I see myself on the beach, retired on my fucking homestead. Whatever your dream is, why don't you just tell the fucking truth?
Right.
You have a dream that you don't want to fulfill because you don't want to do what it takes to make money. You're not even going to live long enough to get there, and you're probably fighting with your spouse so much the dream doesn't even include that for
That's right.
real because you're
That's
not
right.
doing what you need to do to start having conversations instead of communicating.
That's right. You're never going
Right?
to get what you want if you're not taking steps toward it.
That's right. That's
Period.
right.
And so being overweight is serious, and sometimes it's hard. I was 265 pounds at my heaviest, and that's not very heavy for that, but I'm 170, 175. I mean, that's 100 pounds heavier than I am now. And my
Hmm.
physical ability to just move around the world was hindered because it wasn't
Yes.
healthy weight. So I can't tell you the number of years that I moped around wishing that I could be different, and it affected everything in my life, especially my decisions. And then I realized, well, why don't, instead of taking the next 3 years to mope around, why don't I do something about it?
You know what's really powerful about what you just said is, well, first and foremost, the number one thing is just do something about it. Everything that you want tomorrow, whether we're talking about finances today,
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
marriage, your health, better relationship with your children, whatever it is that you really, really want, okay? Like you have to do something every day to make tomorrow happen. The best way to understand this, and James, you're a very educated man. You know a lot of shit up there in that brain of yours. I don't remember the statistics, but I think it's if you do something
Mhm.
20 minutes every single day, you will be better than 98% of the population in that thing. Whether
Oh
it's
yeah. I
guitar,
mean,
working out,
you think of
fucking writing a
instrumental
book. Yeah.
writing, any of it. I mean, anytime you put 20 to 30 minutes a day on a hobby or an interest with passion and
Yes.
curiosity, you are going to master it. You're going to
Yeah.
master it.
You guys, I mean, I'm old, but Eddie Van Halen's one of the best guitar players I ever fucking love listening
Yes.
to.
Yeah.
Okay. And like you could literally be better than everybody but Eddie Van Halen,
Yeah.
probably because he practiced. If you understand his story, he see you guys got to pay attention to shit like this. He practiced till his fingers bled in high school.
Yeah.
Like I remember reading that article and going, "Holy fuck, no wonder he's so good."
Yeah.
Right? Still didn't inspire me to play the guitar. I wasn't there yet. But if we can get you guys there yet, you don't need to be Eddie Van Halen, but you can be fucking good. People will think you're like Eddie Van Halen by literally just simply playing the guitar for 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Like for a year. You'll be better than 98% of the people out there. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing he said. The second thing that I want you to focus on is it's not even about health and fitness. It's about the struggle that or these excuses that we're talking about today.
Right.
If you can understand that whatever it is that's hurting the most for you right now, be it broke, be it your
Right.
relationship, be it overweight, it's it's not just like, hey, if you just this is what I can't stand. So many gurus, even some of my favorite people, they talk about if you just work out, everything falls in line, and I disbelieve that.
Yeah.
I believe because it started for me when I started to click. I started to realize that whatever the struggle is that you're struggling with, when
Mhm.
you start to overcome that, the strength that you have allows it all the other areas to grow. Now, what's important to understand is this. When you start to realize the patterns, like we've worked with thousands of dudes, man, and we start to realize the patterns, right? It's actually you as a person.
Yeah.
It's not the struggle with the relationship. It's not the struggle of being broke. It's not the struggle of being overweight. It's how you feel based on overcoming the struggle. So if you understand that and start breaking down who you are, right? The fundamentals we're talking about, sleep faster, do more, ask the right questions, go to YouTube and learn, take advantage of Cass and Catherine's free app, whatever, right? If you
Right.
understand that, you'll start to unlock who you are. When you start to unlock who you are, you start to create emotions that feel good, endorphins, dopamine.
Yeah.
You start to create more of the life you want. You start to do more to get more of what you want out of life.
That's right. And it's something too. I mean, if my social feed is not absent of all these things about dopamine regulation and adrenaline and all this other kind of stuff. And one of the things that's really amazed me over the last 662 days of no anxiety, no stress, no fear, no frustration, doesn't mean I don't get frustrated, but it's not in me. It just happens
Mm-hmm.
to, because you and I both know we can get frustrated sometimes in this work. But, there's we don't realize that what we're doing to satisfy that need, that boredom, the excuses that we make, they're literally feeding us a reward that gives us the fuel to stay where we are every single
Yes.
day. And
Yes.
until we make steps forward to tilt that balance, we're never going to get out of it because we can't get out of it
Oh
unless
man,
you hit a
you
rock
know,
bottom.
like I wanted to talk about these 60 things, these 60 excuses, but this has become so much more valuable here right now. Okay. The world teaches you, has set you up from a small age to fail, that these excuses are acceptable. I
Yeah.
mean,
They're
whether we're talking about
normal.
our role models, pardon me,
They're normal.
that it's normal.
Yeah.
No, the fact is, it's not true. If you're just joining us, we were talking today about excuses that hold you back, and we literally, I think we had 750 people join our app in the last 35 days or
For
something
5
like
days. Yeah.
that, maybe even more. I don't know. And the amount of people that have done nothing with that is fucking bonkers to me. Like bonkers. You have no idea what we give.
Yeah.
You know, I can see the people that work like, I mean, I don't know who you are, but like when I look at the podcast and how fast it's grown and the binging that's going on, I mean, this is something different. Those are the people that would probably get in the app and move, right? But the world has taught you that it's okay to fail. And so you make these excuses and you don't understand. If you try to do the opposite of what your shitty role models taught you, you're guessing. you're fucking guessing. And if you try to
Right.
mirror them, their experiences, their life, their careers, their pain, their traumas, their growing up, their role models, you're so different that you can't mirror somebody. You can't even mirror Kathryn and me. In my program, in Kathryn's program, we teach you to be who you are. You're not me. I'm not you.
There you
We
go.
have to teach you identity. And you have to filter and bring that in, which is why our new marriage is working so damn fucking well. Because society's role models, your role models, society's examples. I mean, for fuck's sakes, feminism has turned to this masculinity fucking war in society's marriage, and you think you're gonna fucking figure it out?
Not gonna happen. No.
You got to know you. Somebody said
Yeah.
something beautiful. This Amy says, "Who you are is the greatest being on the face of the earth." Every one of you motherfuckers should think that statement about
There you
yourself.
go.
I am the greatest
Right.
motherfucking person on this planet. James, what's your line about freedom?
Which one?
I am the freest
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Oh yeah. I'm the freest. I'm the freest man in the world. I'm the
Yeah,
freest man on two legs, and
yeah,
no one can negate that. I promise you,
that's
it is.
right.
People think I'm insane because the stories, the lies, the limiting beliefs, all the other
Mhm,
stuff that we're taught, the programming that we have, and then the people in the world who are trying to help you, the religious leaders, the pastors, the gurus, the self-help guys, all these people, not only have they not come out with proper things to show someone else, but they're just a lot. And I'm not saying everybody, there's a lot of guys like Cass and I who are actually coming through experience, but
mhm.
most of the time they say, be me, do what I do, act like I like. Don't be me. If you're me, you can't be you. If you're
That's
Cass,
right.
I can't be James. And it
That's
doesn't
right.
mean
You
that
know,
there's not some similarities, but don't emulate, learn and grow and discover who you really are. I mean, this is one of our primary messages. And it's why, the next thing on our list was like substance abuse and things like that. It's why people go to those maladaptive things. They don't know how
mhm,
to function. They don't know how to structure. And then what does it? It runs into all these deep emotions and all this stuff that psychiatry and psychology and therapy is necessary for to work through sometimes, especially with trauma and all that other stuff. But I'll tell you, it wasn't till I had years of therapy with serious trauma, read
yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of books, wrote frameworks on this stuff. But it wasn't until I decided to make a difference. And I'm not being this person anymore. Did it happen?
Mhm.
34 days. 34 days
Yeah.
for
If you
what?
struggle with
From complete
anxiety,
break
with if
to
you guys
being
struggle with
free.
anxiety, with insecurity, with well, really fear. Okay, this is so common with all of these things that we're talking about today. This is why we make excuses. You really got to jump into our app. You really got to talk to James, and I know you can't see him on TikTok, but the rest of you got to be able to get to know this system that he's created. I mean, some of like if you know me, I'm gonna cast your ass. I'm gonna tell you just do this, just do that. It's black or white, and then we find who you are and we bring your version of that. Okay, but if you understand how we can tie that in with your identity, and your identity is not your anxiety. You just mentioned alcohol and substance abuse and coping. We can talk about porn. We can talk about all these workaholics.
Right.
This is a method to cope with your anxiety, your insecurity, your fear. You have to understand 34 days you can be free of this if you just got to do
Yeah.
the work. And I'm going to tell you
Gotta do
something right
it.
now, it is not fucking fun work. It is not
No.
fun work. Some of it's
Yeah.
exciting, the discovery, but you got to
Yeah.
get through the pain
Yeah.
first.
That's it. And when you're free of the pain, it becomes your
Yes.
absolute power. And the fear becomes your fuel. I'm like a child seeing $100 bill on the ground when I see fear. I'm going, oh, I'm about to get paid. Because I'm
Hmm.
about to get paid in discovering something new about me so that I can be motivated to live in the world as a new me,
Hmm.
as a different me, you know?
Well, it's
Yeah,
true.
pain is tough. The pain is it's extreme. You think you're in a dark place now, you'll be in an even darker place for a very deep, short time. And then
So
you're
this
gonna
is
come.
the thing. Like, so you think about but you don't understand, Cass, James, the pain. It's what this
Mhm.
person did or what happened in my life. Do you think it gets worse than feeling the anxiety and fear about going to jail because you feel guilty and ashamed because you raped your wife? I just want to put that out there. Do you think it feels bad? Whatever you're going through, everybody's shit is the worst
Yeah.
for them.
For them.
That's it.
It's
For
no
them.
different. Like the kid that thinks there's a boogeyman gonna eat him in this middle of the night.
It's
It's
just because
it's
it's not it's
horrifying.
just because it's make believe. There's no boogeyman in the middle of the night. See, we undermine that child's feelings when there's no monsters. Go to sleep. I already said I love you, and you strip them, and you now make them want to have anxiety and fear in their life. When they have a fear, they
Right.
don't have to express because you didn't want
Yeah.
to teach them the
That's right.
conversation about love, abandonment. They just miss you. They just love you. They don't know if they're scared they're going to see you tomorrow. All this shit. We let this rule, and then we create anxious children,
Yeah.
and we're fucking trying to drug them up. Oh, they got ADHD. You guys,
Yeah.
fuck, man. You got to get a hold of yourselves. You need to deal
Yeah.
with your own anxiety, your own
It's a
insecurity,
superpower.
right?
It's a
Your own
superpower.
fears. It's a
Yep.
superpower.
It's a superpower.
Superpower.
I feel like a superhero, and my power is freedom. I'm free man.
100%. Yeah, I love it
Free
when you
man.
say that. I love it. It's a great way to put it. I'm still
Love it.
here. You guys are going to hear me. Now you're not going to TikTok, you're not going to see me or James, but I have to go to the washroom because this is going to go on for another hour.
All
Okay?
right. All
Oh,
right. Well,
okay. Keep going. Keep going. Keep
okay,
going.
here we go. So we segued pretty quickly and actually pretty well into this next section, which is the mental health and the emotional side of things that people, they often have an excuse. And I want to put a caveat here is that there is never a time to dismiss severe things, clinical depression, things of that nature, suicidal ideation, suicidal intention. These things are serious, but they're not insurmountable. Even deep things are not insurmountable, but they do take time. So we're saying this stuff as a way from our own experiences that we know how hard these things are, but it is not an excuse to stay there. It is not an excuse to stay there. And the beautiful thing about life is that we can find close and accountable relationships that can help walk us through if we find the people who are where we want to be. So people would say, well, I'm depressed or I'm anxious. I mean, how many of our men, Cass, that really they get with the program and they learn it and they learn this and then they start doing other things and more advanced things, but they can't embody it because they're still using it like a system to employ rather than an identity to live. And
It's so many. It's so many because the whole point is you're supposed to copy and paste because you have a lot to learn. But
right,
to embody something means it matters to you, is who you are. It's inherently what you, that means you have to do the rest of the work, the identity work,
right,
right? Now, we
right.
can't give identity work as the primary focus because then everybody's just like, well, they're in a rush to save their marriage,
Yeah, they're
right?
not going to do it.
So, yeah,
Yeah,
because they only care. It's like if you guys get on a call with me and I'm like, man, you got to focus on who you are. Like, how overweight are you? How much money do you actually have? Like, do you
yeah,
care? You say you're a good parent. Where are they going to live when you're older? Do you have enough money to buy or help your children with a home when they're older? Right? Your identity should be somebody that has all of these values and all of these things that actually matter. So when you come to us and you're like, I just need to save my relationship, I just need to save a relationship. Oh yeah, we'll give you the tools immediately to copy and paste. I get it. I know where you're at. I understand it. But then we have to do this work with anxiety, with your coping mechanisms, with who you truly want to be, with the goals you truly want to have. Kathryn actually starts that in her program from the beginning. She's like, goals, first thing, first lesson. She got her book, right? Like, so you have to understand that there is a bigger identity that's beyond your spouse, that's beyond your kids, right? There is something that is beyond your job. And if you're a stay at home mom, that's still your thing. There's something that's bigger than just those things. And that
right.
is inherently who you are. And unless you understand that, unless you start to use that beautiful gift inside, which motherfucker, I love to pull that gift out of people. But when
Yeah,
you know what that is and you know how to give that gift,
yeah.
your entire life changes. Nothing is going to stop us from what the next thing that we want to achieve. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
right. Yeah,
That can be you. That could be each and every one of you.
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you do have it. And I think this brings us the next thing on the list is, people are scared and then they become needy and they become desperate. And
Mm.
and 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 a lot of times the reason is because they're not listening to the basic and the simple steps and the actions. We use the Karate Kid motif a lot. Just wax on, wax
Yeah,
off.
yeah,
Remember that? Why am I
yeah.
waxing a freaking car? Why am I painting a ding dang fence? Because when we put these motions in practice, they do great things.
Did anybody else just hear that he said the ding dang fence?
The
The
ding
ding dang
dang
fence.
fence. That's a
The ding
Karate
dang
Kid.
the ding dang fence. Yeah. But it's true. It's absolutely true. You guys, this can apply for anything. Like this desperation, this neediness. Let's just say, for example, I'm going to use you guys are all here for relationship almost always, so I'm just going to start with that one, right? I'm afraid I'm going to lose it all, right? And so we
Yeah.
act desperate, right? Please, baby, please don't. I'll take responsibility. Let me just narrow this down for you real quick. If you can act out of a state of desperation, okay, not fear based, you start to realize, wait a minute, man, before we were married and had a marriage certificate, I mean, life was on fire. I mean, we were planning, we were dreaming, we were having conversations. Nobody cared who was
Yeah.
interrupting who. We were all over each other, fucking each other's brains out, like approval, validation. Let me get that for you. You guys weren't fucking married. So why are we worried about divorce papers? Fuck, we can get
Mhm.
remarried. Take the stress down a notch for a
Right.
second. Your marriage sucks anyway. So why don't we just stay out of desperation, stay out of fear, stay out of anxiety and insecurity, and
Yeah.
just structure where we're going? Okay, let's use a different example. Let's talk about money. Desperation. Let's talk about somebody who's we talk to lots of salespeople. Okay,
Yeah.
so imagine if you just need to make sure you're making more money. What happens when you're on a call? What do? You act desperate. Like the person can smell the expectation for the
Yeah.
sale and they don't want to buy. They don't trust you.
Yeah.
That's why you look like a sleazy salesman at your home, by the way, too. You know what I mean? We can do this for all kinds of things. It's why you would rather pull back than go to net. You can go to Netflix instead of going to YouTube and learning,
Yeah.
right? Like it's why you just, man, I could scroll on Cass's app right now, or you know what? Fuck, I'm gonna scroll on Reddit and fucking just look. Yeah, look, this person's going through that same shit and doing fuck all about it. But you miss the part they're doing fuck all about it. You hear all the shit that you relate to that didn't work, and so you
Right.
can fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The same thing happens with the gym. I'm desperate. I'm needy. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that, and you just when it just doesn't get the results that you want, this
Yeah.
magic pill everybody's looking for. What do? We'll try anything. We grab it. We don't go in with a structured plan for any of these examples. And if you do that, you're acting desperate, you're acting needy, and you just end up quitting and coping,
Yeah.
quitting and explaining, quitting and victimizing yourself,
That's
right?
right. That's right. Yeah, it's funny too because this moves into the. It's funny how this sorted it out. It's just so amazing because one of my biggest fears as someone of faith, someone who is literally in Christian ministry his whole life, is I guess I can't get this kind of help because it's a lack of faith. I don't think I'm trusting God in this. And I'll just speak to that for a minute. It's a bunch of baloney. It's garbage. It's actually pure
Mm-hmm.
bullshit. And
Mm-hmm.
and and the reason it is because what the culture has done with so-called Christianity or religious faith is that they've made it a control culture that everybody up here gets to tell everybody down here how they are and are not supposed to live by using and abusing the Bible to keep people where they are so that they are the heroes, so that they are the ones who actually lead in God, so that they're the ones, so they're the same desperate, needy people who are validating themselves through the needs of others, and they're using Jesus as a way of keeping them under their thumb. And so
Mm-hmm.
there is no reason why somebody of faith can't be thankful to find external help. Because I'll tell you this, when I got a kidney stone, New Year's Eve day, I went to the hospital. I didn't go rub myself with oil and drink jojoba juice or whatever and eat a banana and put a pickle on my face. And then pray. I prayed. I said, "Oh God, am I dying? What a fun time this is for a new year. Let me go." And the first thing I said when I got to the hospital, when the woman finally, I was able to speak, "What's wrong with you, sir?" And I said, "I think I'm giving birth." So, I mean, you know, I didn't have to hear God direct me to go get help when I couldn't stand up and I was passing out from pain and vomiting from the excessive pain.
Well, the
I didn't
problem,
need,
you know, my journey's different than yours. I mean, you've been pastor for 29 years, but like, you know, I was raised atheist, if you don't know, and I found God last April, and now I can see where all the pieces have been connected. But here's the thing that I've learned with thousands of men is
yeah,
you can pray all you want, but it ain't just going to be handed to you. And while you're praying, you could be working, and you'll notice things will start to happen. You can be blessed by God, but shouldn't you bless yourself too?
yeah,
Like sitting there waiting for God. You know, I have a pastor back in Kelowna that we were friends, and I love this guy. I took him to Africa with me, and I couldn't even handle any more conversations with him because every time I talked on the phone, he's talking about the blessings that he has, but how shitty his life is, and he's thankful. And I'm not downplaying the gratitude to God.
right,
I'm not.
right,
But this is a man who I tried to offer about 5 different solutions for how he could move his life forward while he's waiting for his blessings. You know, I can't stand it. You
No.
got to pray for your own damn eyes to open.
And
Okay.
there's a patience thing there. There's something with knowing the source, and there's another thing for being just dumb as a bag of hammers. And
Yeah, that's
I
true.
can pray and ask God for wisdom. Why? Because the Bible tells me that I can. I can pray and trust that He will provide the outcome because the Bible says He will. But there's nowhere in the scripture, if there's something that I can do, I can pray that God will guide me through the process of being disciplined to do it. The entire half of the Bible is about how we're called to be disciplined to do the things that we're supposed to do and know what we're supposed to do.
Well, let's not go too far down preaching here because what I
Yeah,
want to do
but
is
you know
make
what
sure
I
you
mean.
understand. I do. You guys just got to understand. You can listen for a clear yes or no.
You
You
can.
can pray on it. You
But
know,
it's
you
not
can.
an excuse.
It's not an excuse. It's just
That's the
not.
point of this call.
Okay.
Yeah.
You should actually learn to make your own decisions. Okay, and then pray that God blesses those decisions.
Yeah.
Learn from your mistakes.
That's right.
If you actually think about the message we're all told, to see Him through the storm, right? Then, fuck. And this is Christian or not really. Give me a fucking break. You don't think I went through a storm as an atheist? Fuck.
Yeah.
Did I ever? You know what I mean? Like you just gotta move your life forward, right? And in there, fuck, I found God. Maybe you'll get a better relationship with your God.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. And your faith's
let's
a
get
part of it, not a separate thing. That's the point. It's a
yeah.
part of it.
It's the same thing I would tie in with your job, your
Yep.
wife, your kids.
Yep.
It's not
Kids.
your identity. It's a part of what makes you whole.
That's
It's
right.
part of your
Roles.
identity. It's not
There
what
you go.
defines you, right?
Yep. Now you mentioned kids, and that's next in our little sequence is that the excuses that we hear, why I'm not going to succeed, I can't make this commitment, I can't do this, I can't do that. The reason things are the way they are, these are excuses that we've heard over the last few months of men saying this is why things are so bad, these are reasons why it's not going to work, etc. And one of them is things are not good with the kids. Things are not good with the kids. And I don't even know what that means. Kids could be maniacal. They could be bullying you
There's a
or,
lot of examples.
or what. I mean,
I have a reel going mega viral. I think it's on TikTok right now, and it's like, um, you know, basically how can you like why the fuck would you let your kids have a terrible fucking life
yeah,
future because you can't control what comes out of your mouth. If you don't like what's going on with your kids, it starts there. Same with everybody who doesn't like how they're treated by their spouse. It
right.
starts there. Do what you got to do. If you want respect from your children, stop demanding respect. If you have kids that don't listen, how much are you listening to them? If you have kids that lie, what's the example like with your integrity? Never mind the words come out of your mouth, right? Do you even do the things that you say you're going to do?
Well,
That is the words out of your mouth. Like,
that's right.
what's that, James?
No, I'm just agreeing with you, brother.
Yeah. Like, kids, I love how easy it is for kids and people when they want to reconnect with their kids. I love this. What you don't understand is like, cause see what we've learned, because we'll see so many men with restraining orders, for example. And what we've learned is the kids over time, ultimately, they want mommy or daddy's approval. They ultimately do,
Yeah.
right? This is a problem if you don't understand the nice guy, but there's nice guys and nice girls, and we can talk about that another day. But they're looking for your approval, which means no matter what you're feeling right now, if you start loving them properly, I mean properly, you're going to find that you're going to get all the love you want. Whatever these things are that you don't have, kids want their parents. They
Mhm.
just do. It's just how it works, man. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
What about kids? Hey, my kids don't respect me. The reason I get so frustrated at home, man, my kids don't respect me. They're little brats and they love their mom more. They don't even want to be around me. And then she caters to them, blah, blah, blah. I
Well,
mean, how
first
many
of all,
times have we
most
heard
kids love their mom more. That's the fucking way
that? Right.
it is, man. Moms are
Supposed to be
moms.
like that, right?
Okay, most. Okay, and then there's different
Yeah.
age things, and there's so much that goes into this. But if it starts with it's that's what I was just talking about a minute ago. If you want respect, give respect. If you want affirmations, give affirmations. If you want to be lifting somebody and supporting somebody like kids, then and you want them to respect you and follow you, your example has to be there, number one. Like
Yeah.
it has to be. And most of the time people's example sucks. I'm gonna give you the easiest example right now. Your kids call you out on your fucking lies from an early age and you don't even know it. You can be anything you want. You want to be a doctor? Sure, cool. Oh, you
Yeah.
want to make millions of dollars? Of course you can. Oh, you want to be an actor, actress? Awesome. You want to be a cheerleader? Cool. Like, And then they watch you complain about your fucking life. They watch you talk about how your day sucks when you come home from work. They watch you needing a break, right? And the example that you teach with the marriage that you have is the big one, right? How in the world can you expect your kids to ever follow their dreams? How?
Mm.
From the entire time you've raised them, that noise. Is that you or me? What is that noise? I don't know. From the entire time you have children, the most of their life, they see you not succeeding in all these different areas of your life, making
Right.
excuses for this one or for that one. No wonder that they still wonder we have so many men reach out and only write one word or two words, please help. And they haven't even figured out that it says right before you text me on my website, please do the free training first.
That's right.
But they're so desperate and needy, like we talked about earlier, right? Because they never learned that their dreams are possible. And they're fucking afraid. All this shit ties together, you
Mhm.
guys. It really
It
does. You
does.
can have anything you want,
It does.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah. The excuses we get into marriage and relationships here in a minute, but these reasons, these excuses, these fears, they just stack. I mean, there's really the root of all of them is exactly the same. Like this next one, I don't have a babysitter. I got
What the
nobody to help
fucking.
me with the kids.
Oh, man. I'm so frustrated with this example because if you know when Kathryn and I saved our marriage, we didn't have a babysitter. We didn't have family either. I don't know what you're talking about. Fucking Kathryn goes on Facebook groups, finds kids that will want to babysit or young 20-year-olds to nanny
Teenagers,
or whatever,
yeah, young adults.
whatever makes it happen, right?
Yeah,
Like, guys, we had to figure out 7 types of dates during COVID when the world was shitting and divorces were becoming a problem and everybody's having all this. Well, we couldn't go out either. That's when we saved our
mhm,
marriage. Like things like this are not excuses. It's you not being creative. If you don't know how to be creative, that's okay. You get a realtor because they know what they're doing selling a house. Get a fucking coach who knows what they're doing. I'll show you
that's
7
right.
types of dates. I'll show you all the ways we figured out childcare. I'll show you how we make Kathryn overcome her insecurity, her fear of somebody else raising the kids, like watching them, like
Yeah,
the pain. Kathryn's a bit of a helicopter mom, if you don't know. Like she's pretty afraid to just leave. There's quite an extensive interview process rotating through. You know what I mean? Like so it's your limiting beliefs once again, reasons why you're not having what you can't date your
right.
wife. I call bullshit. You know that
Yeah,
could lead to something like, well, my husband or wife doesn't want to date. Well, you have to create the life that you want, like we talked about earlier, the hugless marriage, the sexless marriage.
right.
Are you even trying to date? Well, they don't
Yeah,
want to talk to me. See, you're going to keep giving me excuse after excuse after excuse. Why aren't you
yeah,
more excited to talk about than looking at a phone? Like we
yeah.
can just go on and on and on. Do
Well,
what you
they
got
just
to
want
do.
to fix it, Cass. They just want to fix it. If I could just talk to you and teach you what you need to do and get you to see my point of view, then it's going to be better.
The, you, why do people spend so much time trying to chase perfection by
Yeah,
getting their partner to change instead of becoming perfect themselves? I'm not saying you need to be perfect. What I am
yeah,
saying though is if you spent more time on your perfection level, you would never have to convince your partner. Stop trying to talk your way into their head, their heart, or the body part. Okay? Just don't. Just
that
fucking
made a
don't.
poem. You made a poem. Head, heart, and body part.
Oh,
There you
right
go.
on. See,
You're a
that's how
poet
I
and didn't
roll.
know it. Make
That's
it
how I roll.
rhyme all the
Maybe,
time.
there we go. Maybe you should bust out the rap you wouldn't
There
bust out
we
on
go.
the call I told you
There we
to.
go. Yeah. So I mean, and that lends into this, and we've had this conversation several times. I know it was an issue in my own marriage, is different ideologies and how to deal with certain aspects of parenting. Like,
Hmm.
somebody thinks it doesn't need a bedtime, somebody thinks this bedtime, somebody thinks it ought to be, uh, it, it really, it's, unless it's a major issue of morals or central core values or ethics, it doesn't matter. But
I
it's not an excuse. It
can't
shouldn't be an
stress this enough.
excuse.
It's not an excuse. In fact, first things you need to understand is you're gonna have to be on board with your partner before. If it's not, we're not addressing like so somebody's being physically or supremely abusive to your children or something. Let's just say. Typically, on a whole, we're not going to see that. So what do you need to do? You need to back up your fucking partner. It's not
Right.
that big of a deal. And the second thing would be you're going to have to, unfortunately, lead in a different way. Meaning, if you don't like that your partner spanks and you don't think spanks are, then you better start getting real fucking good at disciplining without the spank with the natural consequence. And by the way, you can start to learn that shit too. Don't go on Netflix, go on YouTube. Follow fucking somebody you value as a parenting coach on Instagram. Fuck me, you can learn so much of this shit. And it's
Yep.
not an excuse. It's
Yep.
not an excuse because when your relationship is better, everybody wants approval and validation. Okay. Unfortunately, it's how people roll. So when your partner sees that you're kicking ass and they're not, first step is they're going to blame you and get mad because that's
Yep.
what the whole fucking episode is about today. Right.
Yep.
And what do? You keep doing what you got to do. You keep leading by example because they're going to want to feel that connection like you have it. You can also invite them to join you. Right. So many ways that we teach you in our programs. But first and foremost, that is such a cop out excuse. My partner and I parent differently. That's so stupid because your parenting is going to change day to day
Yeah.
until you learn how to deal with your fucking anxiety, your stress,
Yep.
your fears. It's going to change regardless of what your plans and goals are.
Yep.
Yours, best intentions, theirs, best intentions, or
Yeah.
not.
And it's
You know,
always going to be a series of mistakes, bad choices, and gained wisdom when it comes to
everything you
parenting.
do well in life, you failed to get there.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Everything.
it. Without the
And none of
fails,
us,
you'll never get better.
yeah. And I'm going to say, yes, you can learn how to make money if you don't know how to make money. But yes, you should learn how to be a great parent and be a great spouse and have a great marriage.
That's right.
These are all things that none of us are taught. Think about it. Go back to school for a second. How much time did you spend learning how to make money to truly get healthy? I don't mean like flying around fucking gym class. I mean true health, right? We didn't learn budgeting. We didn't learn sexual education. We didn't learn communication.
No.
Like, why in the world don't you just grab onto that and go, well, fuck,
Yeah.
I should stop beating myself up and start beating myself up for not learning now.
Yeah. We
In
were
fact,
we were
if you,
taught behaviors.
yes,
We were
we were
taught behavior.
trained.
Do
We
this,
were
act
trained to
this,
work nine
do
to five
this.
and be broke. We're
Yeah.
trained to be 9 to 5, be broke, trained to get fat. How do I know that? Look at the cafeteria food.
Yeah.
Like,
Look
come
at
on,
all up here in the
snack
U.S.
machines, right?
Yeah.
No matter what we discuss, you were trained in school to fuck up for the rest of your life.
That's
School's
right.
the dumbest shit on the planet. It's the
Yeah.
dumbest shit on the planet. I'm
Yeah.
not saying don't learn. Big fan of learning.
It's
That's not the
not
place
the
for it.
holistic answer to a well-rounded human being.
No. So if you're going to put your kids in school, I understand why you might. Then you better start teaching a better example at home.
Right.
You better. Because now imagine our schools, God willing, would start teaching proper communication. Well, they're going to watch yours at home. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're going to think they're dysfunctional because are they going to think that what is at home is normal and this is a fairy tale?
100%. People
Yeah.
still tell me that today. Well, fairy tales don't exist. We'll throw that on the list today. Kathryn and I would describe her life like a fairy tale. You
Yeah.
guys got to get real. You just don't want one, or else
Yeah.
you do what you have to do.
And
That's it.
every fairy tale has a villain to be overcome. What the
That's
heck?
right.
Where does
Romantic
that- where
comedy.
does it- yeah. Where
Okay.
did the fairy tale only be the happily ever after?
Honestly, it's always like you must get over the hump and get there.
There
Right?
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What else
God.
you got?
The happily ever after. All right, now we're getting into the marriage and relationship things. Now we got this. I'm an insecure MF and wife or MF and man, and I'm insecure. I feel like everybody's attacking me. I feel like nobody's listening to me. I feel like nobody loves me. And there again, I'll say, listen, that's a hard place to be. But what do you want? You want to be that guy, or do you want to not be that guy?
Insecurity drives me nuts because I'll tell you something right now. I was the most insecure man on the planet, and it caused me to abuse my wife emotionally,
Yeah.
physically, sexually. Right? It was the only way I knew how to protect myself from feeling so shitty was lashing out and blaming her for it.
Right.
Okay. So I have zero fucking sympathy for insecure people. I've been cheated on, not by Kathryn, but by many. I have done so much work. I've looked back and I can see whether or not the morals are just or not, because they're not, obviously, and I don't condone cheating, but I can see every area I fucked up. If you don't like being insecure, which you don't, nobody does,
Right.
then you have to want more for yourself. You have to want, and I've learned this now. This is by accident. I learned it, and James teaches this program. I coach with him called Momentum on our app, Morrow. It's all my last name, but go.morrowmarriage.com. We teach this because one of the number one ways we've learned that we can get rid of insecurity, anxiety, which is all really fear, guys,
Yeah.
is really creating enough value. My wife would put it like this: I'd be fucking crazy to leave this man because you become so valuable as a man or a woman in your relationship, in your job, in your fuck. That just reminds me of a guy I talked last week. Oh, I know I lost my job. because this other guy was better at smoozing with the boss or like friends or whatever. No, motherfucker, you lost a job because you suck at that job compared to that other person.
Yeah.
Now I
And you
know that,
didn't show up beyond normal.
yeah, because even if they're best friends, if you can outperform, outproduce, and make more for the bottom line, I'm talking you are mad money, then why would they get rid of it? That's the dumbest shit on the planet. And yes, I understand politics can happen, but like, come on, let's get real. Most of the time, you could have done better. Okay, it's the same thing in your marriage, guys. If you're struggling with this fear and this insecurity, and you'd rather blame, then you need to know who you are. The fastest way to overcome that is to know your true value.
Yeah.
People will tell my wife to leave me every fucking day. They read a post. I talk about abusing her. I talk about almost going to jail. Some prick called me a fucking a jailbird the other day with my tats. Why would we listen to you? Your wife should just fucking leave you. You fucking simp. Blah 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 blah. Do I sound like a motherfucking simp? Like the thing is, I know my value. I ain't no simp.
I
I
ain't
know
gonna
who
say,
I am, and my wife would be fucking crazy with me. The reason why she says that, James, I don't know if I ever told you this, because I said it to my wife first. You'd be crazy to leave me.
yeah.
It was after
Yeah.
I had a narc out. That's what Kathryn calls it. If my narcissism, if I have an episode, I had a narc
Yeah.
out. 2 days later, I'm like, you'd be crazy to leave me. I said like smile. I wasn't like
Yeah.
fucking, like I'd already done my apologies, already done my repair, the lessons that we teach, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now she uses that line everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Everywhere we
It's
go.
good. She's because she sees it. She embodies it. Because you're
That's
not
right.
a narc anymore. You
That's
that
right.
that guy died. Ryan died.
Ryan died. Ryan
James
died.
version 1
Yeah.
died. James version
Yeah.
2. I like my name, so I'm not gonna change it. But the
You
dude,
don't have to.
the old me is dead. He
The
died.
old you
He
is
died.
dead.
He
And
all
the
died.
old you guys, you also want the old you to go too. Who the fuck likes to live in insecurity and fear?
Mhm.
Man.
That's how we talk about the nice guy syndrome and stuff like that. I just wrote that down on one of our topics. The back page that I've got here is getting full of things we could do recordings on. But we're not going to cope with that guy. We're not going to manage him. We're going to
No.
obliterate him. Going to obliterate
No.
him. Yeah.
I'm so sick and tired of hearing the word recovered. I'm a recovered nice guy. I'm a recovered alcoholic. I'm recovering. No, man, own it. Do what you got to do to stop doing the things that you don't like, to learn to create the behaviors that you want, and
Right.
then just be done with it. No, it's better to say recovered because then it always holds you accountable. Motherfucker, can you hold yourself accountable?
Right.
What
How
kind of
about
life do you
focusing on
want?
who you really are rather than who you once were?
Yeah, you're not. You
You
don't
know?
have to be a nice guy, which is a nice asshole. If you know what my wife says, right? You don't have to be
Yeah.
a recovered alcoholic. Why the fuck does your past define you? I'm not a rapist. I
Right.
just did bad things to my wife, really bad, long time ago, and now,
And you're
I'm a
done with
different
it.
man. I'm
You're
done
done
with
with
it.
it.
I don't even
You're
know.
done with it.
We laugh about the old guy. We
Yeah.
literally laugh. We go on dates and we're like, oh man, if Ryan was here right now. Shit. See,
Yeah.
why would I be insecure? Why do I care if you tell me my wife should leave me? I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck, man.
That's why I
My
get
wife's
stitches in my stomach laughing at myself, the old guy.
Oh man, it's awesome. It's so
It's
fun. If you
like,
guys like
gosh, man,
skits
that was
and you
pretty
want to
good.
move out of the past, here's a little
Yeah.
tip. A little tip. If you want to move out of the past and you like skits, act out like the old guy, but in a fun way,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Or the old woman in a
Mock
fun
him.
way,
Mock
right?
him. Mock him.
Mock that person like Chris Farley did, Eminem did. I
Yeah.
started doing that, and Kathryn just rolls, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just get
Yeah.
her rolling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It's
fun.
great. It's great.
Makes
All right,
dates
here we
fun
go.
too. Go.
Insecure, and my wife doesn't want to have sex. She doesn't want me.
Yeah. So okay. So this is a weird one, like to be an excuse, but it's true. Because when your wife or your husband doesn't want you, you typically shut down,
Yeah.
right? And if you want a sexless marriage, then continue to shut down, right? If your partner doesn't want to have sex, you have to think about if you want them, who's more desirable? Means they are. So that means that you're not desirable to them, which means that you need to do something different. That's it. Now, I mean, I have a whole program on that, but like there's so many things that you need to look at. But most important lesson is why are you creating a life that you don't actually want? So if you want more intimacy, let's just use intimacy instead of sex for a second. Right?
All right.
You want more intimate conversations. You want to be able to hold each other and blissfully look at each other. And yes, okay, sex. Okay, if you want crazy sex, if you want connected sex,
Yeah.
okay, well then you've got to initiate the life that you want. You just have to. That's
Yeah.
it. And if you're initiating shutting down because you're afraid of rejection, or if you're initiating frustration and anger because you can't have it, you're not having intimacy or connections, then
Howdiness.
pouting. Well, you're not
Yeah.
initiating life you want. You think someone wants to fuck that? No, in fact, that's number one mess. One of the biggest messages I have to teach.
Yeah.
She not wants doesn't want to be with you. She doesn't want to manage her emotions. She's not safe.
Yeah.
And women are
She's not
asking
your
me more and
mom.
more.
She's
No,
not your mom.
no, she's not your mom. She's not going to
Take
give you a
care of your
cookie when you do things
emotional
good.
boo-boos.
That's right.
Yeah.
Just so yeah. And women are asking me more and more too, right? And women, it's the same thing. If your
Yeah.
partner doesn't want you, what are we doing? You
Yeah.
know, how much gratitude are you giving them, or how much nagging are you doing? You know,
Right.
like this just gives you an example that I've heard Kathryn say. But like, you've got to look at what you want and initiate the life that you want. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm.
Hmm.
And that's the next one. Well, my wife just doesn't respect me. I mean, we had a lot of guys, and I mean, gosh, but why would she? Right? Are you
Hmm.
a guy that garners respect out of overlording, or are you a guy that people respect because you just are respectful?
Yeah, like here's the thing: we can tell easily if you're disrespectful and why you don't deserve respect. If you're controlling, that's
Yep.
disrespectful. If you're
Yep.
angry and yelling, that's disrespectful. We can tell. But then there's this other kind of disrespect that most men don't realize, and that's this false identity. And women do this too. It would be more like fawning, is how Kathryn would describe it when she's
Mhm.
teaching. Okay, but I would talk about this false identity of somebody loving their partner
Mhm.
and then pulling back, love because they don't feel like they're getting the same amount of love, right? And
Right.
then they defend themselves or ask questions, talk too much. Why don't you want me? Why don't you love me? What can we do differently? Or ultimately blame. Okay. Where's the respect in this person? If you've just been faking it, happy wife, happy life, or happy spouse, whatever, and you're just presenting something like you love, but then you don't like, there's nothing to respect. There's literally nothing to respect. So forget the obvious disrespects like yelling. But we should take this different. We should go down. So you and I created the tailspin towards betrayal. Now,
Right.
this is because so many people got a problem with affairs, right? And we got to understand. I posted a reel today. Go watch it about affairs and the stats. Most people don't cheat. Okay. Now I know cheating happens, and obviously we see a lot of it because of what we do for a living. But most people don't actually cheat. Okay, so we took something that's out there for betrayal, affairs, and we presented the tailspin towards betrayal, which would be any disrespect you don't like, right? That you
Right.
don't appreciate. It's disrespect. Of course, we don't appreciate it. And if you walk through it, what is it, 40 steps, and then the last five lead to the ultimate betrayal, which could be affair, could be physical abuse, could be divorce papers, whatever, like the ultimate betrayal. Okay,
That's right.
and we looked at it like that for a real reason. If you walk through, you can see both sides how the partners go through this vicious cycle. We only
Yep.
went through the cycle twice. I mean, I went through that cycle with Kathryn like a million fucking times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But for the purposes of the documentation, which you can get at go.morrowmarriage.com, it's in there for you right away tomorrow, I think. On our app, it's this vicious fucking cycle that you create that you're not going to get respect. It's impossible. You're literally creating disrespect in every area of your life, and then you enable all the disrespect that you don't want. You enable it. I'll
Yeah.
use the affairs because everybody loves affairs. How often? How often are you fucking saying, well like, why do you want to talk to me? Who are you talking to? What's so funny?
Yeah.
How often are you accusing your partner of cheating? If you have a partner that
Yeah.
cheated on you, you probably made that happen. I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm
Yeah.
saying you perpetuated, you enabled it,
Yeah.
and their bad choices, they followed through on it.
Yeah,
What's more
you've
safe?
brought yourself and your marriage and your relationship, your decisions and who you are. You're 100% responsible for everything you've done to bring it to where it is today.
Yeah, the reel that I posted today was like the very last part of it is like if because I go through the stats of cheating and most people don't cheat. So if most people don't cheat and they cheated on you, you must have fucked up pretty bad
Mm.
because 80% on average, just so you know, don't cheat. Okay, that's a big percentage in your
Yeah, you
favor
would
that your
think it
partner's
would
not
be
cheating.
higher than that. You think it would be, I mean, you think the cheating would be higher.
Statistically, man, for decades, it's the
That's
same basic
crazy.
numbers. The same basic numbers. I just checked in November again. The newest the
So
stats were out again.
fidelity is normal.
Yes, sir. Okay, since we're talking about it, I'll just give it to you guys. Like, it's 23% of men cheat before marriage, 19 women before marriage. Okay?
About the
After
same.
marriage, about the same,
Yep.
but men higher. After marriage, it's going to be 20% men and it's 13% women. So
Mm.
much different and
Right.
also lower. So
Right.
that's why I say I'm not condoning cheating, but if somebody cheated on you, you must have fucked up pretty bad.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Drift, descent, disconnect, and disaster.
The tailspin towards betrayal. We got a lot. Well, it's
Yeah.
value. We went
It's
through a training on our app, go.morrowmarriage.com. We went through a training. We're not even a training. We were just editing this
yeah.
document that we created, right? And so while we're doing this, the men that were in the program were just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And afterwards, we're like, hey guys, what do you think? Anybody have any questions or whatever? They're like, oh my God, I saw myself. I saw my marriage in there. Like,
Yeah.
over everything. Oh, everything. And it's like, those are your fucking mistakes, man. Those are
There
your
you go.
mistakes.
There you
You
go.
know, yeah, it's powerful.
When you can
Now
see
it's
them,
also both sided. It's two sided
yeah.
though. It's not biased.
And
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah,
when you can see them, you can start to recognize them when they come in. You can stop that cycle. That's the
that's
beautiful
right.
part about it. That's the beautiful part.
That's right.
All right, we've got like half hour left. We're in the home stretch here. The last boy, this is going by fast.
It is.
Um,
It is.
you know, wife says I'm a narcissist or gaslights me. How many times have you heard that one?
Oh fuck, man! I hear this like probably daily in
Everybody's a
DMs.
narcissist.
Comments are like nonstop.
Yeah,
Listen, your spouse, if you think they're gaslighting you, go listen to episode of Moral Marriage Podcast, episode 200. But the gist is this: they're probably not that intelligent or patient enough to be actually a narcissist and gaslighting you. I'm
right.
just going to put it out there. If you understand what true gaslighting is, it is absolute manipulation to make you crazy, crazy making.
It's
Okay?
intentional.
It's
Every
intentional.
piece of it. It's not accidental.
It's not accidental. It's absolutely calculated. It's absolutely intentional. And we go through some really good examples on the episode 200 called Gaslighting of our Moral Marriage podcast. But the gist is this: it's so calculated that they're more than likely not just a narcissist, they're a sociopath for true gaslighting. Now, you said the perfect word: it's intentional. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what that means is if you have a partner in their own reality, their own perception, which is what happens to everybody when they're angry. When you have anybody in a fight, protecting themselves, defending themselves, inherently we all start to be a little narcissist. I'm not saying you are one. It's
Right.
behaviors. Okay. Now, in the reality that you feel, your perceptions is what you speak of from,
Right.
right? So I'm going to make this a super easy example. Let's pretend we're looking at a vase of flowers. Okay. On one side, I see blue. On the other side, you see pink on the vase.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, no, it's blue. And you're like, no, it's pink. Well, after a while of these kinds of things in your fights, when you don't connect or don't understand, don't you feel like your partner's a little fucking crazy? Or they're making you feel like you're crazy? See, you
Yeah.
call that gaslighting, but if you turn the fucking vase around, what color is the fucking vase? I got the pink now. She's got the blue. Or you
Yeah.
got the blue in this example.
Yeah.
Which means neither of you are fucking gaslighting, but you both look like fucking narcissists. You
Yeah.
guys got to wrap your head around this. Words being thrown around far too much. And this goes with attachment theories. This goes with ADHD, depression, anxiety, fucking issues, PTSD. I saw 3 fucking messages on PTSD today. Well, let me tell you how many men I've helped with PTSD. Let me tell you, my wife, you don't think she had PTSD after all the abuse I put towards on her?
Wow. Yeah.
Like, come on, you guys got to get over your fucking excuses, right?
Yeah. And
We're
that's the thing.
using shit like
It's not true. It's an excuse. It's an
that's right.
excuse.
We're using narcissism as an excuse to say, well,
Yes.
this won't work, and that's absolutely not true.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, it doesn't mean that our behaviors that need to be corrected, but more often than not, it's typically that we don't even understand those things. I mean, how often are we hearing guys going down the fucking attachment theories now? Well,
Oh
my
yeah.
wife's an avoidant,
Oh,
and like,
dude.
because of this, and like,
I've
oh
spent
my gosh,
hours. I spent months studying that stuff. I almost got certified in it, attachment theory coach. And I'm like, this is not who I am. Because I found now I was labeling myself in certain areas. I was making decisions based on the profile of my attachment style.
that's the fucking problem. And you make decisions about your partner based on these
Yeah.
things,
And I was
right?
filtering everything through this framework rather than discovering myself and
That's
actually
the
getting the
problem.
tools to lead myself.
So let's go back to it. So my spouse is a narcissist. Let's use all of these things. Okay, this is what I have to deal with. What I want you to understand is these are all superpowers. If I am a narcissist, if you don't know, and I'm severe and I have to manage it. Okay, I'm a self-aware and I have to manage it. And there's some things that we can do. Reality checks. Let's say you are dealing with somebody with these things. Do what you got to do. We both know that's not true. Like bring them center of reality. That's
Yeah.
we have, on the episode. Kathryn describes how we do it. Episode 200 of Morrow Marriage Podcast. But you bring you guys to a center where you're the same. You're on the same page. You connect on that level, and then you reality check. Now, there's so much more that goes into this, so don't just think it's going to be a magic flip. But when you get the light bulb, everybody's perception can be flipped. When they get the light bulb, you immediately learn. Like the question starts: do I do this a lot? And you can start. You should have your own light bulb for this right now because it happens to everybody. It starts at a young age as a toddler, deregulated, can't manage your emotions, and then we practice this and rehearse this, and we continue to do this in our adult life. If you
Mhm.
understand that, you don't need to blame your partner. They just don't know how to love. Just look at it like that. What a gift I can give my partner. They don't know how to receive love, and they don't know how to love. What if
Right.
I could show them? And that's inherently a big part of Kathryn My message when we teach in our
Yeah,
programs. Okay,
that's right.
go on.
Yeah, we taught about perception today too on our momentum call. It's just because it's really the one of the biggest things that'll lead into almost everything else because that's where the fight starts internally and externally.
Hmm.
We might see something that's true. Okay, my wife doesn't like me, or this was said to me, and instead of actually dealing with it and responding to it based on evidence, we react based on a story that we're telling ourselves by the way we see
Oh,
it. Yeah.
yeah, 100%.
My wife's gonna leave me if I join this program.
Hey, this happens all the time for men and women.
That's why you were
You're
here. She was on the way out.
men and women get this wrong all the time. So you want to, even if it's just buy our book, forget spending money on a course, forget hiring us as
Yeah,
coaches, right?
yeah,
Like you get in trouble because you're wasting money on this thing, okay, to grow. So the first thing you have to understand is if your partner's checked out, that's like asking somebody broke
yep,
how to make money. That's
yep,
asking somebody who's overweight how to lose weight. My partner's checked out. So is it okay if I buy this book? Is it okay if I listen to this podcast? Hey, do you want to watch it with me? Just fucking buy the book. Just listen to the
yeah,
podcast or watch it. Just get the course, get the coach because they're checked out. They're leading divorce.
yeah,
So you don't care what they have to say. Well, no, they're going to leave me right now. This is where he's going with this. We get this all the time. She just left me. He just left me because I hired you. And then what happens? We work
yeah,
with them, and you're a new fucking person, and they want to get you back.
right.
You could jaywalk, and they're not going to be
No,
respectful of you. That
no.
that might be the thing today. That's the edge. That's it. I can't handle your shit. I'm out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yep.
so don't ever. Personal growth is your journey. Don't ever let somebody take that from you, especially a checked out spouse. And you know, you lead them where you want to go. I'm just going to address this question here. I just happen to see it. Penny says, how do you deal with the silent treatment? The same way we're talking about here now. Do you want a silent life? Start talking to him. Well, he won't talk to me. Be cute. Push the phone down. You know, be like, I'm right here. Have fun. Turn on the songs. Start dancing. Music connects people. Fuck, sing
That's
your
right.
life out like a Disney song. That's a big fan favorite in our home. You know, plan fun and go do it without him. Now, I wouldn't recommend that unless you're doing a lot of other things first. That's the last stuff I teach. All of this is the last stuff I teach. But you know, you have the life that you create. It's so just because we're talking about excuses today, Penny, I don't want you to think about this well, but my husband won't talk to me, right? I want you to think about it like, well, what am I gonna do? Who can I be? How can I be more excited? Forget the silent treatment.
Yeah.
Like, what's my conversation like? Why am I trying to communicate? How much of it comes across ungrateful, more nagging, stuff like that. Okay, go
Right.
ahead, James.
Yeah, I was just saying, it's important to understand too that these things, just like we say, it's not in a vacuum. You can't just say, "Oh, I'll try that and it's going to work." You can't do it so that it'll work. You have
That's
to
right.
do it because I just want to make that emphasis. You don't have respect at home, then be a person that should be respected. And if they don't respect you, then you won't even be bothered by it. As long as we're triggered, as long as we're emotional, as long as we're needy, as long as we're desperate, we're dangerous. And so
100%.
we're never going to become successful in our own eyes. So we'll never be successful in anybody else's.
That's right. Everything that you hate right now in your marriage, your finances, your health,
Yeah.
like deep down, everything you truly want to change, okay? Even if it's a little bit, okay? Everything you must work towards. It's already happened. It's a direct result of everything that's led up to today. That's why I say, I wouldn't care. Kathryn told me not to buy courses and programs. She didn't believe I was going to change, right?
Waste of money.
Waste of money, waste of
Yeah.
time. She didn't think I was changing for anybody but her, right?
Right.
And so you must just realize that she could have left me at that moment, right? Damn, she almost did leave me when I bought that coach for 120 grand for when I bought Alex, right?
Yeah.
Like bought Alex. I sound like I bought him
You
when I
got him there.
hired
Is he in the
Alex.
back? He's in the closet.
Yeah, he's just in the back room. But no, when I hired Alex, right? It cost a lot of money, right? And she was very pissed off, very upset. She cried
Yeah.
for fucking days, man.
Hmm.
But I got to work. And see, most people don't do that. And they realize what you have to realize is everything that happened up till now is where you're at and why it's not what you like. So you must start creating opportunities for everything that you want today and don't expect it to be easy. If you're getting the silent treatment, if they're saying fuck you, if they walk out the door, you still have to show up because this should be about you and the changes you're making for you. That's it.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I
Right?
just wrote this down. Okay. You hired Alex. That was the straw for her. She was like, I'm done. I knew he's going to waste this money. I knew he was going to waste this time. But yet you did the work. You showed up and you became someone. Most guys, I can't speak for the ladies, but most guys, they hire Alex, they buy a book, they join our program, they hire Cass so that their wives can see them hiring, but they never do the work and they wonder, it didn't work. No, you
No,
didn't work.
that's right.
You didn't
Yeah.
work.
Here's the easiest way to prove this. Okay. The book hadn't even been out for 30 days. My book is Disrupting Divorce. You can find it on Amazon. Just search Disrupting Divorce. And the book hadn't even been out for 30 days. In the book, I talk about being a 90-day journey just to start the growth for you,
There you go.
right? Your journey begins at the end of 90 days. Like you
Yeah.
have to practice and learn. And the book you can obviously read faster than my course, but the point is like you don't just learn, like you copy and paste. You have to be, anyways. The guy hadn't even been 90. It hadn't even been 90 days. It'd been like 2 months and 7 days or something. Uh,
Yeah.
1-star review. Book didn't work. Marriage rest in peace or something fucking stupid. Well, you
Yeah.
didn't even read the part where it says 90 days. You dumb fuck. Like, give me a
Yeah.
break. You treat it like a magic pill. And if I know that part right there, I've worked with thousands of men. I know that man didn't actually try hard. He didn't
Yeah.
implement. He had
No.
expectations. He expected to put a book out and his wife to say, "Oh my God, you're trying so hard. Can I suck your cock, please?" Good
Yeah.
fucking luck, man. Yeah. Oh yeah, good idea. Here's the
Yeah.
book right here,
Yeah.
Disrupting Divorce. Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
the yeah. He went to the table of contents and he thought, let's see, which one do I need right now?
That's
Man at
exactly right.
play.
Oh, man at play, where I can
Man at
talk about the
play.
7 types of sex. Oh
Very
yeah.
back. And he's like,
Yeah.
hey,
And
baby, hey, girl. And
he
she
probably
threw
didn't
it
even
out
be
on his
very
face.
front of that section actually says, and if you skipped ahead, stop. It won't work. Go back.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Fuck.
Right.
Jeez.
Oh
See,
my
quick
God.
fixes, guys. We didn't even put that on there because
Yeah.
we were doing this. We did this a little differently than we planned, but you can't be looking for quick fix, man. You
No.
can be someone brand new in 90 days. Then you have to work on that person for the rest of your life. You had never done Rise, but it could be exciting. Now it's exciting. Now it's not work. Your marriage is the beautiful byproduct,
Yeah.
right? Your
It's like a
marriage is the
scavenger
gift.
hunt, and every clue is $1 million.
Yeah,
Every time you
yeah,
find
that's
a
a great
clue,
way
it's
to
a $1
put it.
million prize.
That's
Boom.
right. And then then your marriage. I just got real hot. I just started imagining me and Kathryn throwing money in the bedroom naked, like fucking because you're scavenger hunt there. I loved it. I loved it.
Oh gosh.
But this
See,
is
this is
possible. This is
men
how
at
you
play.
have to think. You know what I
Men at
mean?
play is the smallest section of the whole book, but
It
that's
is.
where everybody wants to spend all their time.
I know. It's
Anyway, all
useless
right,
without the rest of the book.
we're running low. Let's get here. So, she wants to spend time with other people. She likes other people. Why won't she spend time with me? That's back to that neediness. That's back to that that incessant whiny. Why doesn't
Yeah.
she like me? Why doesn't she pick me?
Listen,
Uh,
if I'm starting to realize this. If I hear people talk like that, like, and I don't know if it's because there's been so many people now, but it's like, dude, I don't even want to talk to you, dude. I don't even want to talk to you. You're boring as fuck.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
we shouldn't lead our life with problems because we should be problem solvers in our own life. You know what I mean? If
yeah,
you don't like it, it's your fucking life. Like it's not dependent on anybody else. Nobody. So if they're not excited to talk to you and you want them, then why aren't they excited? It's your
right,
life.
right.
It's not them. It's not them.
Yeah.
Like you now, I get it. If you're, we have a bunch of guys that are like uber rich, right? Like uber rich, and they don't understand it because everybody in the world likes them, this and that. Well, what I can tell is there's the basics, and I fell into this category as well. I talk too much about fucking work. There's one thing, right? I can run down a whole bunch of shit where you're not excited to talk about. I don't care how much money you make. That doesn't
Yeah.
buy peace. That doesn't buy happiness and joy. It buys things that can make you happy, but
Right.
not lasting.
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's a bonus, right? So
Temporary and experiential and contextual. But somebody that likes you in a certain context, it's not connection. It's just an affinity. Everybody
100%.
likes everybody else when the wave's going on at the ball game.
Yeah, yeah,
I
seriously.
mean, you know what I'm saying? At a dinner party, everybody loves the rich guy when he drives up in his Porsche or his Lambo. But
Hmm.
they're not gonna like his stupid butt when he's getting out of the shower and he's screaming, "Where's the towel?" You know.
Well, this is a problem. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I'm so good at creating the life that I want now. I
Right.
just I just have little patience. Like it is your life, and if you don't like your life, you are the only consistent in your life. I
Yeah.
don't care if you're married. I don't care if you have kids. I don't care if you've been at your job for 45 fucking years. You are the only thing constant in your life.
Yeah.
So you are the only one that can take control of your life.
And it's
Get your
your
life. Go get your
responsibility.
fucking life. It's your responsibility.
Nobody, every excuse is another punch in your balls that you're
It really
not
is.
yeah, it's just
Here,
you're
let me
punching
go back. Let
yourself.
me go back to the silent treatment. I don't know if this person's still on or not, but let's go back to the person who talked about the silent treatment today. You telling me you've never given the silent treatment to your partner? I don't know how long you've been married, but I guarantee you, if it's been a year, you've been quiet when you shouldn't have been quiet.
Yeah.
Like, how can we look at our partner's problems and not look at our own problems? Okay,
Yep.
just it really is that simple. It really
Yep.
is.
It
Yeah.
is. All right, we're running low. Let's look. Here we go. We're going through the last few. There's still it's still a good bit. So let's consolidate some of them. My wife wants to let's put it here. My wife wants to go get a new job, or she wants to get a career. She wants to go back to school. She wants to better herself.
Yeah, she should. If she
Yeah.
wants to do whatever she wants, she should. Why is that a
Yeah.
problem? Why would that be an excuse? Why?
Yeah.
Why? Why would that should be nothing but support? Look, listen. If a woman, which is most women, takes on children and the home, a woman puts a ceiling on her life. Even the most successful, we've met very few like uber top of the top women, that didn't like they weren't stay at home moms sort of thing, right? Like there's
Yeah.
typically a ceiling. You know what I mean? Okay. And so even if she was uber successful, whatever it is, don't you think she should have her dreams too?
Yeah.
I don't even know how this is an excuse for men to not move forward with your. Oh my God, she's just starting a new. She's
I think they
possibly
get
she's.
butt hurt. I think they're just such a scaredy cat. They're so insecure that they can't help the fact that, oh my God, this woman, that she won't be my maid. She won't be my boo-boo kisser. She won't be this. She won't be that. Then I'll have to take responsibility for this life that I've built while she
Well,
manages.
that's what it is. It's a like you you should be able to lift anyone in your life that you care about as far as they want to go,
There you go.
especially if you're a fucking man. If
Yeah.
you're a man complaining that your wife is doing this and doing that and you're insecure like James is talking about, or how about this? Maybe you're just fucking realizing that she'll leave you. See, a lot of people don't realize your partner will leave you. Yeah, a lot of women, they're desperate husband, needy husband. He won't leave me. A
Yeah.
lot of men, she can't afford to go. I mean, we can go off thousands of excuses here,
Dude.
but like, your partner will leave.
Yeah.
Your
We've
partner will
seen
leave
wives
first.
sleep in a car with their kids to get out of a house.
I've seen millionaires' wives leave with 2 suitcases and a couple
Yeah.
pictures, and not one's with the husband. Let me tell
Yeah.
you that. Not even go after the money in court. A year later, talking to them, no, you didn't. Not even what you were owed. I just wanted out.
Yeah. I
Like
just want
people don't
grandma's
realize.
quilt.
Yeah, seriously, people don't realize how you're not invincible. You're not
Yeah.
invincible, and if you don't take care of you first, then you will lose your partner.
You will.
That's it.
You
That's
will.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. Oh, let's see. My wife, wife checks sex off the to-do list.
That's fucking every wife who doesn't want to have sex. That's every
Yeah.
man who doesn't want to have sex. If they're doing it for you because they don't desire you, then you are not desirable. And this is go watch the whole fucking thing today. Like everything,
Yeah.
sex
All
is
of
the
it.
checker flag, man.
Yeah.
If your partner, I mean, I get there's hormones and I get there's issues. I mean, even male, like I understand there's those kinds of things, but let's pretend that shit's in line. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You are not desirable. If your partner does not want to connect with you, at least at the very least, connect with you, like want to be there for you, male or female, that's
Yeah.
the very first type of sex that you get. That's the very first one,
Yeah.
right? I mean, there's quickies, but there should be intent behind the quickie. Okay, so the very first good intimate connection is a desire to connect,
Right.
right? So if your spouse is not willing to do that, then we shouldn't be worried about anything else. It means you've been letting sex be used to manage emotions. You've been letting sex used as a band-aid during fights. You've done all kinds of other things. Fear sex, maybe you've made them feel terrible. They have to sleep with you, or you're gonna make them feel terrible again, guilt, shame, whatever. Maybe you're like me and was very abusive and screamed at her. So sex is an indicator of the success in your relationship because sex is a gift for marriage, which is a gift from God. You either embrace that fact or you're on the wrong fucking feet.
Right.
But there is so much that must come in to play before we can look at intimacy.
Right.
There
And it's
is
not
with sexual
obligated to
intimacy.
meet emotional or physical needs because that kind of connection is servitude,
Hmm.
and it's not the good type. So here's another one on sex. She's having an affair.
We kind of already covered this, but like
Yep.
if she's having an affair,
It's
let's tie
betrayal.
this since we're talking about like is you hear the things like yeah, I mean I saw the note that they she's doing things to him she wouldn't do to me.
Yeah.
But that's because
Right.
they're fucking desirable. She's at a point where she's
Right.
trying to live free. She's trying to have. She's at peace. There's all kinds of fucking shit going on there. You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
if a person is having an affair, betrayal, guys, could be your fucking phone, man. If somebody, oh, well, yeah, they're both being used. But if somebody's like looking at their phone, it's more important. That that's the same shit. A lot of women, for example, aren't having affairs with other people other than their children. Meaning, they just want to be with their kids because that's the loves of their life that they feel connected with. And
Right.
they don't want to talk to you,
That's
right? If
right.
your partner's not interested in you, you have a problem. That's
Yep.
it. That's it.
All right. Here's one. When you validate your wife and she says, "Don't therapy my ass."
Okay, well, most of the time, this is a problem. You are therapying your partner's ass. Like you just are. Like if you say, I understand, that must feel terrible. There's only so many times you can regurgitate that shit.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like you have to try to understand. What's she trying to get? I'll deal with that in a second. Waggus. Can't see there's a reflection. But yeah. Oh, sorry, I lost my thought. What was the thing?
It was therapy my ass.
Oh, therapy my ass. Yeah, that's because most of the time people don't actually know how to be understanding and compassionate beyond their own needs. So when you're trying to understand, you sound like a motherfucking therapist. That's it. And
Right.
if you're focused on communication instead of conversation, understanding you can connect during a hard conversation, that's still an emotional connection. Well, then it's no wonder it sounds like therapy. And by the way, if that's what you think works, then why didn't it work? Why isn't it working for you? Why isn't it connecting you? Why are you leaving more angry? You know
Right.
why are you doing shit like that? Let me just give here for 10 seconds, guys. I'm gonna actually now I got a reel coming out, so I'll let it go on the reel. But um, no, she's trying to get a guy. She'll do things she wouldn't do to get a new guy. Yeah, that's not necessarily true, dude. That may be true, but it's gonna be centered around where she feels peaceful to do those things, where she
Right.
feels safe enough to do those things. You see, if your wife doesn't want to do crazy shit with you, it's because you ain't fun to be with to do those things with, whatever that looks like. Let's
Right.
get real, okay?
Right.
Because you're the kind of guy I'm guessing that thinks she probably used you for an ATM. Then, oh yeah. She's gonna just take what she needs and she's gonna do whatever she has to get what she needs. And that's not fucking true. And if she is willing to do it for him and not you, go back to you again. What's your fucking problem?
There you go.
Um,
Yeah.
wags.
Thanks.
You know.
All right, here's the last two in this category, and then we've got one more category that we could sort of lump together for the last 5 minutes. But here's this one. She doesn't give me love in my love language.
Okay, everybody, fuck, shut up about love languages. Seriously, okay? I understand why it's important, and it's damn
Yeah.
shame that people just don't get more into my work instead of, I mean, even some of the newest self-made, social media influencers and stuff are really on this shit. Love languages are a thing. There's been like I don't know 90 books around it by Gary Chapman and his
Gary
crew or
Chapman.
whatever,
Right.
But like And there is some longevity to the solutions provided in the love languages. Okay, I get it. I have all different kinds. I stack them. I use them for dates. I do all kinds of things so it connects you guys. And so there is validity in the love languages. But here's the thing: focus less on your partner's love language and focus more on giving just what you want. And I know that's backwards because that's not how love languages work, right? In fact, I would teach that lesson. Why are you worried about your love language when the book is designed for you to understand your partner? If you understand that, you can start using love languages better right off the top.
Yeah.
Don't think about how your needs are met. Think about how you're meeting your partners. Okay. Step one. Step two, fuck the love languages for a second, man. Just fuck it. Do you want validation? Then fucking give it. That's words of affirmation.
Right.
Do you like when somebody's thoughtful with you with gifts? Well, fuck it. Be thoughtful with gifts. That's gift giving, right? Do you like to feel taken care of? Then take care of your fucking partner. There you go. That's acts of service. Do you like respect? Let's move away from love languages for a sec because you got the point, I imagine, right? Do you like respect? Then give it. Do you like integrity? Then tell the motherfucking truth,
Yep.
right? Do you like an apology? To be sincere? Then fucking give one and make it sincere. You don't need the love languages in a fucking book to understand how to give in a relationship. You need to
Right.
start giving what you want. Exact opposite of what people think. Give what you want and lead by example, and then you'll have everything you want. Absolutely everything you want.
All right, Cass, I need you to just take some deep breaths here because this is probably going to be one of the hardest ones that we've had today. And it might even be so close to the cuff that you might have to just go off air. And I'll close it out if you do. But what about the wife that wants farm animals?
Oh, you had me going. I thought, did somebody come in a comment or what? If you didn't hear that on TikTok, it was, what about the wife that wants farm animals? Well, you fucking buy her the fucking farm animals. It just is what it is. Now it sounds like we're getting a fucking ferret and a bunny for the girl's birthdays coming up here right away. Like, house is a zoo. The house is a giant toilet.
Yeah,
and yes, it makes it difficult. But does it affect us negatively? No. See, we could go down a whole rabbit hole with compromise, sacrifice. There's so many things that you can learn from
in
my
your house.
suffering with animals. I hate the goats. I hate the goats.
I get it.
Oh
I get it.
my
You
gosh,
can't
the
contain them.
goats.
Well, when I come in
just-
April, I'm bringing 4 cats.
Oh yeah, thanks for that. That'd be awesome. Yeah,
There you go. Yeah.
but you just got to learn to sacrifice. You got to. This ties with my list that we were talking about the last subject. Learn to give more. Learn to sacrifice. Learn to be someone who can compromise. And we get based off all the excuses that we talk about today. We get into this whole state of like, yeah, but what about me? What about my turn? You don't understand. It's not gonna be like that forever. Whether or not you leave for your own peace, but are proud of who you are. And by the way, that person wouldn't be contemptuous. That person would be patient. That person doesn't make lash outs and you know like they're dialed in, man. They're dialed in, and we walk the guys through it until they are dialed in, like Mark today, right? Like,
Right.
It happens. But more than likely, what's going to happen is the world is full of shit. Even the ones that you guys are dealing with affairs, the world is full of shit people not doing much with your life. I'm not saying you guys are shit people watching here today. You must be moving forward. You're here, right? But if I look at TikTok, it's been on for 2 hours, and I don't know how many people are on this other one here, but 8 people, 7 people, 6 people. Man, like there's like 3.4 thousand likes there.
Yeah.
Like that is a lot of likes. Where are all the fucking people? In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. If you do the hokey pokey with your life, expect to have a fucking dance of a life that's not fun. It's a fucking Macarena, hokey pokey, chicken dance, whatever the fuck. You're not gonna fucking do something pretty like the tango with your partner, with your finances, with your health. All right, it's been fun.
Right.
Gotta get out of here. Peace.
Yep. Take care, brother.
See you guys. See you, buddy.
Bye.
Bye.